Friends, fans, and fine folk, grab your drinks and snacks and come on down around the Pathfinder gaming table to laugh at me as I don't know what I'm doing for this second episode of Pathfinder! Hello everybody! Hello all of my friends! How are you all today? I'm glad to see you all here. It seems like the volume's working. Give me some sound check.
Sound check. Sound.
Perfect. Alright, I did it first time.
Sound
First time every time. Welcome in, everybody, and welcome chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience as we were setting up. We are here to play Pathfinder, first edition. For anyone who has missed it before, we this time last week were doing the first episode of a three-part campaign set in the Pathfinder world, the Pathfinder setting and everything. Trying to do due diligence for Pathfinder rule set. Give it a good go, so that in future, if I ever have a bad word to say about any of Pathfinder, then I can at least say I've given it a go. That's kind of the point of this. Also, so that I can finally give Dag the gift of somebody GMing for him for once in the Pathfinder world. So I wanted to make sure I'm doing it justice for that reason as well. So before we crack into the story, let's go down the line and introduce ourselves and our characters. Well, maybe not our characters, we'll get into that when we actually get into the stories. But introduce yourselves, who you are and where people can find you. We will start with AJ.
Hello, my name is AJ Winters from Winter's Tales. I'm a dungeon master and world builder over there. I'm very keen to be here, and I know nothing about Pathfinder. I promised myself I would learn some Pathfinder stuff over the last week since the first section, and I didn't. So my answer remains the same. I know nothing about Pathfinder.
Wonderful. Juxtaposed with that level of knowledge, then we'll jump over to Dead Aussie Gamer, aka Ask a Pathfinder. What do you know about Pathfinder?
What do I know about Pathfinder? Well, let's start with, first of all, it is a game in which you find paths. Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what? I will share something, because, you know what? No one actually, so many people don't know what a Pathfinder is. So Pathfinders is actually, they're a group of adventurers. It's a guild of people who travel around the world, just experiencing the world, experiencing history and stuff, and then gathering all what they know and create Pathfinder Chronicles, which they then distribute like a newspaper to everywhere. So if you have no reason to become any kind of adventurer, that's why it's just you become a Pathfinder. And if you're lost and you're confused and you don't know what you're doing, you can always ask a Pathfinder.
Does anyone else want to yell out nerd right now?
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm with Ajo. Ajo in the chat's put lol nerd.
Oh, did they? Whatever.
I'm with you. Lol nerd. And who are you?
I'm Dag. I'm Dead Aussie Gamer. I mean, at this point, if you don't know who I am, just hit the Google. I'm a TTRPG content creator. I do a whole bunch of stuff on my channel, but also I special guest on a bunch of other people's channels. So right now, I'm actually a member of the Tavern Guard over on Quincy's Tavern, as well as a member of the Cantrip family over on Careful Cantrip. In addition, I'm also with the Mercs of Mischief for our season finale, which is on tomorrow, for a scary horror thing. Yep.
Excellent. Dread GM.
Hi guys, I'm Dread GM Josh. You can find me across the internet playing a bunch of TTRPGs, homebrewing, world building, all the cool stuff. My Twitter handle says storyteller, what is it? Voice actor, storyteller, and GM with dreadlocks. So if you want to see what I do, you can head to the Twitch channel Dread GM, where tonight I will be running a game. I forgot to mention this last week. I run a game every Monday night, AEST at 8 p.m., where we're running through Stormking's Thunder. But yeah, I do pop-up streams at the moment, so wherever I can get on, you will find me. So we're not talking about our characters, though, are we?
Not yet. No, we'll get into that later.
And I'll let you know.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I've been making bluff checks all day. I know so much about Pathfinder.
I was just about to ask, what do you know about Pathfinder?
I'm an expert too, Rob.
Expert.
I'm so good at this game. I know everything.
I'm glad. I'll turn to you then, just to give Dag a bit of a break.
Exactly. You don't need to worry about... ask.
Doug wants to just enjoy it from the
Oh, yeah,
experience of just playing. He doesn't want to have to teach
Yes.
it. He teaches it for a living.
Exactly.
So I'll turn
I know
to you
everything.
instead then. Excellent.
I read the book back to front 3 times.
So did I. It doesn't mean I know it.
Yeah.
I literally read the book cover
I
to
rolled
cover.
a 19, so you have to believe me.
I'm afraid
Okay.
19's not very good in terms of Pathfinder
Yeah,
knowledge.
not this game.
Wait,
yeah, there's
that's
like
a fail
plus
here.
17 to regular rolls.
Wait, what's my bluff? It's a -2. It's a 17. Sorry.
I think your bluff is a -2. All right, so in the 3 that we've heard from there, the regular nerds, they were here for last week. They're here for this week. They'll be here for next week as well. But in each week, we are also joined by an extra special guest. Last week we were joined by Dale Kingsmill. Today, however, Dale is looking a little different. Her beard is looking magnificent. Dale has become Matt Briefcase Brown. Who are you? Where can people find you? And what do you know about Pathfinder?
Hello, I'm Matt Brown. I produce over at Split the Party on both YouTube and Twitch, youtube.com/splittheparty, or I think it's Split the Party TV on Twitch. I don't know, I'm in the chat somewhere. Just click on that and follow it there. There's a link tree. Who cares? Yeah, I don't know. I play a little bit of Pathfinder 2nd Edition for some of my commission games. Oh, I'm also a professional GM. How can I talk about that without doing that? I'm dungeonmasterforhire.com.au. That's the gig. That's what I do. I played some Pathfinder 2e. I've never
Get out of
played
here with your
First
2e.
Edition.
This is 1e.
Yeah, I'm part of this new generation of Pathfinders. These new nerds, as they call it.
I realized that 2E sounds like 2 E's. So
We can go get some 2es. It's
Some
just
2Es.
everybody having a... No, I think that's TOS, but... I don't know. I play some Pathfinder. I don't know how to play this version of it, so we'll see.
Neither do I, so we're good.
I've heard it's very different.
no, see, Matt. All you need to do is
it's
just say that you
very
do. Say that you
Just
do.
say you
and it's
do,
fine.
bluff it, make
Yep,
it up with
bluff
confidence,
it.
and you're going to be good.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
literally
right.
the only person that would call you out on it is me, and I'm not gonna do that.
Good. I've outed myself
The
then.
wilder
it
you
seems.
make this,
We make up-
the
we
more
make up our own
believable
rules.
I'll make you to rob.
Yeah,
Like 100%.
you guys can pretend like there's a thing, and
I got
I'll
a
have to go with it.
long-standing tradition of fake it till you make it. Anyway, that seems to go
fine.
all right.
That's
So
what we're
let's
doing.
just not say any
good.
more, and
Wonderful.
I'll pretend I do know what I'm doing.
Well then,
Let's see how many rules we can make up and sneak in there by the end of the session.
all right. So, in to round us all out, then, if anybody's joining from somebody else's community and you don't know who I am, I'm Robert Hartley, GM. I am a full-time Dungeon Master TTRPG player as well. I'm the DM for a comedy group called Viva the Dirt League, and I'm a DM in my own right at Robert Hartley GM on all of the platforms. And I mean all of the platforms.
On every single one.
Every single one.
Handle synergy.
I'm even
So-
on platforms you haven't heard about before.
I'm making platforms,
I am the platform!
and I definitely
flight
TikTok.
stats.
He's ascended!
All right, shut the fuck up. Let's get
All right.
into the game. We will kick off with a little introduction, shall we? It is early into the night in the wealthy Triumph district of Egorian, capital city of the infernal imperial bureaucracy, Cheliax. As usual, the night falling has brought with it the curfew, as we find ourselves on Prince's Street at Wilson Weave Basket Weavers. Inside the back room of this basket weaver's shop, a meeting is just wrapping up. A halfling woman, Gertrude Fallows, a couple of human men, and a halfling woman recently freed from slavery in a nearby manor house. Gertrude's finishing discussing plans with a group of individuals who freed the halfling in return for assistance escaping the city. The camera settles over the scene just as a partially draconic-scaled man is being shown out of the room by one of the humans. Oh, yes, thank you, just this way. Heads out of the room. What do people see? What does the camera see of the 3 remaining individuals in the room? We'll start with the most eye-catching of them, the largest orc creature standing or sitting. What would you be doing in this room?
Definitely standing, given the companionship he currently is traveling with. This huge, towering 6'4" orc, not a half orc, full-blooded orc with large jawline, huge, jagged tusks, one of which has been broken off through battle, through war. Wearing what looks to be a summer dress with little floral patterns throughout it is a very, very poignant attempt at a disguise to get here. Is, of course, Agmai.
My.
He brandishes no weapons that you could see, but do notice that his loincloth of incredibly deep pouches seems to be bulging with several small herbs, remedies, and the like. And yeah, he kind of stands, kind of listening to the plan with a grizzled feature. His kind of eyes kind of darting across the room. He's imagining there's a couple of these humans in particular that are kind of eyeing him with caution, as the orcs of Belkson are not exactly known for following plans and
No, they
subtlety
are
and
very.
subterfuge.
They are cautiously optimistic at this point that you may go ahead with this plan. If nothing else, than to get you out of this room. The first step of the plan is to leave, and so they're just like, even if that's the only step he follows, we're good. Next to or nearby, Argmai, the next most intimidating sight that the camera picks up on is that of a large grizzly bear with a woven basket on its head like a hat, and he's sitting down on his butt like a pet beside. What do you look like, Dread?
Right. So you see a dwarf with ashen skin, a soot colored beard, and burning eyes. You can see that this dwarf has definitely been touched by the infernal, as spiked protrusions stick out of the skin. You can also see parts of the beard cinder and smog as well. You see this dwarf look over towards the bear with the basket, and Ash will say to Robert,
It's alright. I'm going to miss the doctor as well. Hopefully our paths will cross again, and we will find him.
Nice.
little jostle.
Gives him a little hair tussle, and the bear's enjoying the little scritch.
You see this imposing dwarf that has definitely been touched by the infernal pick up their basket and put it on their head to match.
To match.
Yep.
Slops down a little bit.
Yep.
It's a little big for your now dwarven head than when you fit into it in a different form moments before.
Exactly.
Almost missing entirely from the scene. Very very hard to notice because of the nature of the stealthiness of them. What do people with keenest of eyes notice, AJ?
So hidden in sort of the back half of the corner is this very dark grey skinned female, long dark hair and like very light sunglasses, like shade out ones that are like rectangular, very Matrix style. Wearing leathers and just like sort of slouched back with a permanent frown on her face as she looks over the group, just contemplating whether this is the best choice to continue this mission after all of the shenanigans that went down in the last couple of hours.
You did seem to be the most competent one at this sort of stealthy assassination, sneak in and free a slave in order to prove your worth to the network, the Bellflower network. But these other folk might have merits in different areas if you come into trouble that requires someone who can lift up 5 tons. Or someone who can turn into a bear for 5 hours. Herself. Yeah, she's like, maybe there'll be reason to stick around.
Maybe it will be helpful to have them here.
As you're saying this, the dossier of Manila envelope is still open on your lap to the chaperone that you were told will be accompanying you out of the city, helping someone who's a little more familiar with how to get past the guards, especially during a late night curfew, as is in place right now. How to get out of Egorian, this capital city, and start your journey on the run. You look down and you see that there's this sort of hand drawn picture of this creature that seems to be almost avian in appearance, this bird-like appearance. And as the camera kind of zooms in over your shoulder and onto the picture, we see it sort of come to life as the camera shifts to out in the streets. We see Scraw walking down the street, making your way towards the Bellflower network. You've been told there was a last-minute meeting at the Basket Weavers on Princes Street. Well, actually, you were told that it was on Princes Street, and as usual with the Bellflower network, you weren't told the exact location, just the street. Then you had to walk up and down the street until you found the blue Bellflower sitting outside of the shop that was sort of designating where it was. But you have walked up and down Princes Street over and again, and there are no signs of flowers at all. The best you can tell is that there is a ruined bunch of flowers just spread across the pavement in front of the Basket Weavers, and you're almost about to give up when you swear you hear some bears roaring from inside the Basket Weavers, and it doesn't seem like usual behavior. You have a feeling like it may be in the Basket Weavers today. What does the camera see as they see Scraw walking down the street?
So Scraw is a... Oh no, I forgot the name. Plumekith? Is that what they call it? Okay, so basically they look bird folky, but they are actually an Asamar technically, I think. So they have that divine blood, but it manifests in like a humanoid body with wings and bird-like features. So like covered in feathers. I can never decide. I think this changes like literally every stream that I actually get to play Scraw on, like what type of bird he is. Last time he was a galah, so let's go with a rainbow lorikeet this time. I'm gonna say that Scraw will just change his look.
He's not the most inconspicuous of folk, then I would say, as a rainbow lorikeet.
Loud like his gun. He is a gunslinger. He is not subtle.
Speaking of his chosen weapons, is it a small pistol? Is it a big rifle? What are we looking at?
You're looking at like a very large, long rifle on the back, like
the wings.
Kitted out to like with a large kind of scope. It looks like he's a distance user.
Right. As you as we see Scraw kind of confused as to where the meeting is tonight and whether you got the right street. Did you hear Prince's Street or is it Princess Street? Oh God, why have they got two of essentially the same named street in this town?
I don't even know what a princess or a prince is. Why did they say the same thing again? You're
passing by the weaver's shop one last time as the door tring open and you see a human leading out another human with these scales sort of making their way up their neck. This other human seems to be affected by some kind of curse, perhaps, and they're talking in hushed voices, and they stop when they see you, and then they realize, oh, and the human goes, oh, it's Scraw, we're in here, and he gestures in through the basket weaver.
Oh, so you're making baskets today, or what?
Well, kinda, in a way. Head on in.
Don't cold, just all right.
You'll see.
Everything's cold.
I need to take the doctor. He's got an item that needs transporting, so
okay.
I'm gonna be sitting out of this one.
Just to clarify, is that a literal bit of code, or is that like we gotta get some lunch sometime? I don't know.
I've stopped using thieves' cant with you, man. You don't understand it, and it really confuses things.
It's not that I don't understand.
And then I have to clarify what I'm trying to say.
With the fishes, but sometimes you literally mean that because you're talking to an Alocathar.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm supposed to kill him or not.
Exactly, and that's why I've just started being honest with you, because then I end up having to say something, and then I have to say it again, just in straight words anyway, and then you get both of them, and you think I mean both. You think I mean sleep with them and then kill them, and then we had that
sometimes you gotta have a bit of business with your pleasure. I do understand that.
Yeah, but the time that you did it in the other way around, that was just creepy and weird, man. And it was.
I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, but I did not do that.
Yeah,
I took him out for dinner. I wined him and dined him, and then I shot him in the head.
Sure, that's not what the rumors say. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
well, those rumors are damn wrong. I'm gonna make sure that.
I gotta take the doctor. You gotta head into. I'm being literal. You got to walk into the basket weaver's shop, go into the back, talk with the Bellflower network. There's some people in there that you need to meet.
All right. I understand. And I walk through.
Give him a wink, and he's like, "No, I mean, God damn it!" And he leads.
I will walk into the back. And I will talk to my compatriots. And you see me just like pull the rifle off as I walk through the door. Big cartridge flies out of this thing, by the way. It looks like a big round.
He's just like, why do I keep cocking it? It's already
It's already
just
loaded.
keep wasting ammunition every time I do that.
I'll buy more. It's fine.
Thank you for the raid, Perception Studio. Welcome in. You've joined us for episode 2 of Pathfinder. I don't know how to play Pathfinder. Don't tell Dag. So you head into the back room. There you meet this the companion that you've worked with a couple of times, a halfling woman, Gertrude Fallows. She's kind of one of the leaders of the one of the. They kind of work in a what do they call them? Like a battery cell situation where nobody knows too much about the. They only really know their immediate higher ups, so that if they ever captured or whatever, they don't know too much about the wider network. But you've worked with Gertrude before, or at least that's the name she's given you. In here, you see a couple other people that you haven't worked with, though. You see a full-blooded orc, a dwarf that seems to be almost burnt, fire in the eyes and ashen skin, and a giant bear, and that's pretty much all you see. Because the other member of the party is much too stealthy, passively, than you could see with your lorikeet eyes. At least at first.
Yeah. I was told. And I'm like holding the gun in my hands. I was told to come and meet some compatriots out the back.
That's right. Scraw, please put the gun down. We're not killing anybody here, right?
Oh.
Not yet.
Well, I've been, we're going killing them Cheliax nobles and whatnot.
That's
so
right.
Is that these folks on them?
No, they wouldn't be in the meeting with us if they were Cheliax.
Oh, I didn't think this was no. I thought it was a meeting. That's what they said outside. They were like, "You're gonna go out the back. You have a meeting, if you know what I mean."
No, I don't think. No, he means just it was a meeting. We're just meeting. So. Okay, but
yeah, all right. Well, it's good that my long range capabilities are kind of, I'm a bit claustrophobic in here, if I'm being honest.
Well, there's going to be plenty of wait, this is going into Irish. I'm in Irish. There's plenty of long range out in the Sturmian Plains, and that's where you'll be heading with these fine folk eventually. We got a job for you to escort them out of the city. They're not our usual group, and so we can't go with the usual shrinking them down and hiding them in pockets and things as we can with. And she gestures over to the recently freed halfling slave, who's like, this is the first time she's heard of it. Like shrunk down and hidden in a pocket. What? She's like, we'll get back to that. But with this folk, and she points at the big orc and then the big bear. She goes, not so much with the hiding. So I'm going to need your assistance on escorting them out of the city in other means.
Oh my hell, getting them out of here.
That's right. So
all right.
These folk have paid for the services of getting out of Egorian.
Oh, so we can't just shrink them down, because I developed a nice little cartridge that fits right in the barrel. I could have just shot them over the walls if they fit in there, if it's small enough. But all right, that's fine.
Have you tested it, this one?
No, but I figured there's 4 of them, and at least if it's 25% success rate, one of them will live.
That's not what we're going for a little higher success.
All right, 50%. That's the best I can do.
Also, my bear gets airsick, so...
Oh, it'll be over real quick. Don't you worry about that.
I step up behind this person, and just my voice comes like out of nowhere, just by your ears. If you want to live, you're making sure it's 100%. Understood?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes gotta... Oh, no.
Lost you. Scraw, are you doing that? Scraw, are you doing that thing? Yeah, you're doing that thing that birds do sometimes, where they're mimicking voices and whatnot. In the meantime, Scraw, while you're finding your voice again, I know you got a bit of popcorn stuck in your throat there. I'll explain the plan a little more. So there's a settlement in the Whisper Woods called Sonara, and there's a lot of undesirables, as the Chelish people would say, that live there. Lots of the tiefling folk, for one. We have friends there. We have allies, companions, and people that can help. It's a little bit of a journey. We first have to get out of the city of Egorian during curfew, and we do need to leave tonight. She gestures to the bear and to the dwarf and says, the two of you outside made a little bit of a notice of yourselves, and there will be guards coming, I'm sure. So
we're not used to places like this.
As much as possible.
We live in the forest. We don't like cities. We don't like buildings and all that with all your fancy laws and rules.
It's good news that you're going back to the forest.
Exactly.
between here and the Whisper Woods, there are a couple of stops. Ideally, we've got to get you to Nisher, and then from there you can either go across country to Longacre, or you can go down the path towards Halmurs. It's there are benefits to both. I'll leave you to decide once you get to it. But ideally, you're heading for Nisher, and once you get to Nisher, you can decide from there. The first problem, though, is just getting out of the city before the guards find you. And let's hope that they're guards. Scraw, you had something to say? Maybe? No, Scraw goes into a state of... he gets a little overwhelmed by situations sometimes.
I just wave my hand in front of his head like, did I spook him too much?
I think so.
Yes, I think maybe.
I imagine because it's a basket weaver, right? There's like some fabrics, like tea cozy. It just falls over his eyes and he falls asleep.
It just goes to sleep. Just put the bird to sleep as soon as it goes dark. Well, Scrawl will go with you. Scrawl will go with you as soon as he's back in the realm of the living, I suppose.
All right, toss him on the bear.
So Scrawl gets your chaperone, the person who has been sent to accompany you out of the city.
All right, Robert, listen, you need to carry this one just for a bit. Okay, I know you want to eat him. We can talk about that.
As soon as Ash says that, I go, I'm not going to risk our guide getting eaten. Agmai will carry this one. And with one hand, I'll just sort of like, almost like a just over the shoulder kind of thing.
Easy peasy, grab from the back and flip over the shoulder. So you are tasked with your first challenge. Because of the commotion that you made outside of the basket weaver, it's almost guaranteed that there will be some kind of inquisitors coming to. And through the magic of editing, just like that, whoa! As you pick him up and put him over your shoulder. Perfect. You are carrying him out of the meeting and out onto the street. Your first challenge is you are in the city. There are almost certainly inquisitors on their way to deal with you or to find out what the commotion with the bears was. There is a curfew after dark, and you have to get out of here. What do you guys want to do?
I would like to start a different commotion with other people.
Okay.
Take the distraction, just so that we're not the people that they come into their street for.
I'm going to need your guidance on this one.
I guess I'll stay as Pathfinder sucks. It was just going to be a temporary joke until I changed my name, but now I don't know how to do it without screwing everything up. So
it's all right. Matt should be back in a minute.
The holes of this place, they confound me.
Apparently, as owner of the Zoom meeting, Dad can change my name on Pathfinder. I deserve that. That's well played. And
oh my god, I am so sorry.
And as the giant cat eats the Birdman, as the giant cat man comes down.
Well, that was quick. Can we have another guide then?
And then the new guide comes in.
My brother.
Strangely, Scraw 2, who looks exactly like Scraw 1. Scraw, you come to consciousness having just been kind of, you know how you can hypnotize a chicken sometimes.
They do.
Something happened like that in the meeting, and you suddenly went into a hypnotized state, and the orc picked you up over the shoulder as they left the basket weavers. But you come to, you're on the orc's shoulder. It is nighttime, and we're deciding what to do to get out of the city. The Drow, whose name I definitely haven't forgotten since episode 1.
I checked in. It's Bryn.
Bryn, thank you. Bryn has suggested helpfully that creating another commotion on another street over somehow will divert any attention towards that street, so that might help you sneak away. What other suggestions has anybody got on how to get out of the city walls, out of the city
I have
streets?
the ability to summon creatures. Perhaps I could summon one and they could cause the commotion for us.
Summoning creatures to create a commotion? Definitely a worthy option. Any other suggestions?
I can tear down the wall.
That would just bring them to you.
With like your hands
Agmar.
or like... What are we talking here? Like you start a construction company and then slowly tearing it down, or you'll just
Just
go
over the
through
next-
everything like a
just
Looney
over the
Tune,
next
like a
few
big
years.
hole. Yeah.
As much as I would love to see you tear down the walls, I like the summoning creature. Maybe we also disguise the bears so that, you know, the rumor of 2 bears fighting on the street is not what they are looking for.
How could we?
My thing's dress won't fit bear.
I
You
would
don't know.
offer.
Robert is quite a lean creature when it needs to be. Aren't you, Robert? You want to wear the dress?
He stands up.
All right, let's try the dress.
I'll have everybody make a perception check, please.
I will say
Oh,
that
no.
Robert has been infected or corrupted by infernal. See all these spikes? We'll have to try and cut them out.
Yeah, I would offer to fly people over, but I'm not very strong. Can't really carry people. So I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make that perception check.
What are we adding to this? Is there just the perception
You
bonus?
should have a perception bonus. Yeah.
On
Okay,
page
page.
43 of appendix 6 of the character
Okay.
sheet.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
There is like a table that tells you where to refer to your different stats.
Okay, it says I have to reach into a bag of holding first. When do I do that? Do I do that
Yeah, you
before
do-
or after
yeah,
I've
yeah.
rolled the dice?
You get
So,
out.
wait, have you read the scripture and lit the candles?
No, I haven't got
and
to ridding the world of evil before
Well,
I can
you
roll the dice yet.
need
I'm not up
yeah,
to that
do
step.
the pre-ritual before you can do any check. It's very important that you.
Okay, hold on. Oh, Holy
Okay,
Father, we
there we go.
ignore this game by which we have done the thing.
Yep.
All right, I got a
Now you can-
13 with a
13.
natural 1.
Well, I got a
Some
27.
good perceptions. 27. Nice.
18 for me.
Okay.
Daniel's here!
Dag, what'd you get?
I miss you.
Dag,
You're not making out of the city. Thank you for your vote of confidence.
Dag, what'd you get? Perception.
16.
16. All right. So it is only you, Ash, who notices as you're talking, and it makes sense that Agmai doesn't see it because he's in the middle of taking his dress off over his head, but as he's doing, just tearing it off to then put it on the bear. You're like, why does it not go together anymore? Ash, you see that there's like a light on the horizon of this city, kind of looking down towards the street end that you're on, the Princess Street. Now that you're out in the open in front of the Basket Weavers, you can see that the horizon, kind of like a sunset, is sort of glowing a little. And then you realize that it's getting closer, and you realize it's not a sunset. It's actually just like something that's glowing, like just on the other side of these buildings, coming this way.
We need to hide or something right away. Some sort of light is coming towards us.
Why
I
can't
know
we
what
just...
it is. I don't like it.
Oh.
It's not natural.
What do you do?
Come on, Robert. Let's hide.
I'm gonna.
I'm immediately going to be sneaky and just like disappear into the shadows.
You just
Yeah.
immediately disappear.
I'm gonna pick up both Ash and Robert, and I'm gonna put them on the roof.
Just gonna grow as you say. Come on, Robert. We need to hide. The bear sort of turns around and just dives into a potted plant essentially outside of the Basket Weavers. A big old bear butt sticking out the back. You turn around and pick him up by the scruff around the back. Pick up Ash and just up and onto the roof. There's a bear and a dwarf side by side hiding on the roof. Can you make me a stealth check on top of this roof, please?
Is it-
And we mentioned that there was a park nearby. I'm gonna
We
go
did.
just sort of like, because I'm green and parks are green, so
I rolled a 5. GM.
A 5. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Matt, what is Scraw doing?
Is it too close that if I was to fly up and have a look, that I would be seen?
It is. So the light, now that it's been pointed out to you, seems to be glowing from something, like maybe carrying a torch or a couple of people carrying torches, maybe on the other side of the building on the street across. So you've probably got about 30 seconds before they round that corner at the current pace that this light
Got
is moving
30
at.
seconds? That's a whole lot of rounds.
Well, maybe not in Pathfinder.
No, I know. I'm thinking about it. Oh no. Look, I'll stay hidden if I can.
All right. Can you make me a stealth check then? AJ, did you make a stealth check as well?
I I was not told to, but I will do it now.
I will ask for one just on the off chance that there's a nat one.
Well, are we still doing those nat 1 card things?
Fumble things? Sure are.
Oh, does that mean I should have one from before?
In fact, no, I'm not. I'm only going to do it for Dale. It was an optional rule, and I'm only going to use it.
I rolled a 17 plus 3.
17 plus 3. Okay, that's not bad. You only have a +3 to stealth.
Apparently.
as
we've
been describing you as like super stealthy, and it's like it's +3 in Pathfinder's base.
Wait, I have a +4 to stealth.
I have like a dark grey skin, so I've just been blending into the shadows. It's not stealth, it's just like you just don't see me.
It's camouflage.
Naked to the eye, just blending into the shadows.
So, in answer to your question, the crit fumbles I think are only on attacks, not on ability checks.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
First roll of the game.
I can't believe the cruelty I suffer. Yeah. So we got a 5 from Dread. We got a dirty 20 from AJ. We got a, what was yours, Matt?
On the stealth, I got a 12.
Yeah, 12 on stealth. And Dag, what were you doing? You were going to the park to try and blend in with your green skin in the green.
Just kind of lies on the grass.
Provide me any bonuses.
I will give you a +1 circumstance bonus for being in greenery.
I got a 2.
With your +1 circumstance bonus. I doubled your stealth check.
Yep.
All right. Needless to say, you all think you're pretty well hidden. Bryn is the only one who is actually hidden. I hold up a bush in front of their face, and then 23 seconds later, around comes not a humanoid holding a torch, not even an inquisitor. But as is relatively common on the streets of Cheliax, this infernal city where they worship devils, you see a literal devil walk around the corner. It seems to be in the garb almost of the Inquisitors. It has this black and red sort of robes with silver trim to it. But it also has this long beard that seems to be made almost of worms, and these huge horns, these large sort of, what's the name of that animal that has horns like this? Don't get caught up on it, Robert. Just
like
long. No. The large ones that are kind of spiraled outwards.
Like
oryx, like oryx horns. It has these large spines down its head and down its back of its neck. And the beard is long and writhing in front of it as it walks with this large glaive in front of it. It is illuminated with heat as the light seems to be coming off of its body. And as denizens of the city, you would recognize that this is one of the enforcers. This is one of the devils that are sent to deal with large kerfuffles and such, like, two bears fighting in the wealthy district of town.
You can see Ash's teeth like just clenched so hard you think that they're going to break. You can see their fist is balled up, and they look over to Robert, and like Robert is probably feeling the same thing as well.
Yeah, you can see the fire burning in Robert's eyes, and then the camera kind of cuts side by side with Robert's fiery eyes, Ash's fiery eyes, and then the bearded devil. You see his eyes flame up as he sees you standing on the roof, and he sees the Aarakocra nearby as well because his stealth wasn't good enough. He sees all of you except Bryn. As he also sees the orc with a piece of brush in front of its face. And I will have you guys roll initiative.
Let's go!
Oh no. Dag, I just realized you've called my PDF birdscreechingnoise.pdf.
That's brilliant.
That's very fun. I mean, that's what he does. Like, his name is Scraw, and he tells people that because you wouldn't be able to pronounce it otherwise.
Yeah.
I love it. It's funny.
Yeah.
I only just noticed though.
All right, on here, initiative is going to be there. There it is. All right.
Initiative. Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Who got high numbers? Dag, what'd you get?
I got an 18.
All right.
If that's high, then I got a 17.
You go 17.
I thought we were talking about Pathfinder high. I didn't know we were talking about D&D high.
Wow. See, Dread, you're so knowledgeable about
I know.
Pathfinder.
So-
Yeah.
And then Ash, who got mid-range numbers. Teens, tens. Nope. Oh boy. Low numbers.
Are we adding dex to this?
You add your
Your
initiative,
initiative.
which is
Yeah.
on the top of your sheet somewhere, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
very,
initiative
very
is
Oh,
top.
yeah.
I got an 8.
8. Okay. Could be worse.
Matt?
I got a 1 plus 5 is 6.
That is 6. I can confirm.
Let me just see if I had anything to help that, because I thought I did, but maybe not.
It won't matter too much. All it will do is eke you out in front of Bryn if you have anything. But with a 24,
don't.
going first, the bearded devil.
I was gonna say
Oh.
before, as he's approaching, do we have any time to like do anything like seeing the light coming up?
I mean, you saw the light approaching, and the thing you tried to do was hide, and you all failed to
We all
do so
failed.
very well.
Yeah.
So then he rounded the corner, and he's still like
Okay.
a little ways down the street. But as soon as he rounded the corner, with a 2 on stealth, he's going to see you from a while away. He sets off running up the street. He is going to, as is a Pathfinder thing he can do, he's going to take a full round action to run, which means he can run 4 times his movement speed. Which means that he is going to cover, and I'm going to find speed on here any second now, 40 feet. So he's going to go 160 feet, which means he's going to get all the way up the street, holding in one hand the glaive. He just pounds the cobblestone outside of these shops, and you can see them kind of cracking under the weight of his feet as he's putting a lot of energy and force into them. He's a relatively large fella. He's only size category medium, but he's very stocky. He's kind of like if you scaled a dwarf up in dimensions. He's got this large upper body. He's pounding his way up the street. He's all the way up to you. I'm going to say that he is within. Let's go with theater of the mind for this. So I'm going to say that he is. He's aimed pretty much straight for you, Agmai, because you were the first one he saw with the lowest stealth. So with his movement, he's going to be able to get all the way up to you in melee. That means that Ash and Robert, you are on a rooftop 20 feet away.
20 feet away, and how high up?
So 20 feet is like the direct line between you and him.
Oh,
So
yeah, cool.
So
How
that
up?
includes the
20
height.
feet roof?
The roof is probably, how tall is Agmai? Because you reached up to put them on the roof.
Agma is 6'4".
6'4", so reaching up probably about 8 foot something, and so the roof is probably around about 9 feet off the ground.
9 feet off the ground.
It's a little bungalow building. That puts you guys can the other two of you can decide pretty much where you are in respect to how close you would have been to these two idiot party members of a bear on a roof and an orc behind a plant. All right, that is the devil's turn. Agma, you're up.
Oh, he doesn't hit me. Okay.
No, he used his full round action to get all the way up the street towards you.
Okay.
Unless there's anything he can do with a hit or anything.
Yeah,
round
I'm
action
going
means
to
he's used it all.
I'm gonna crack the glass that I've got and start to inhale that scent, and you watch as Agmai's body begins to again kind of take on a more reddish hue. His veins sort of become prominent as he starts to his eyes glow red. He then cracks his neck.
This is the same thing that gives you a -4 intelligence and makes you super strong.
Yep, that's
Sweet.
the one. And I'm going to look down and say,
Puny devil.
You see the tensing of the muscles. Veins start to pop in Agmai's neck. What do you do?
that's it. That's a full
Is
action.
that all you can do? Is it a full action to take the potion?
It is.
All right.
It is.
So he's charged up to you, and he's just getting his glaive out. You, as he's approaching, sniff this thing in and get ready for a fight. We're about to see like a Hulkbuster situation here. Next up in the initiative is Ash and Robert.
All right, Robert, let's go get some damn answers.
We're just going to charge, jumping off the roof, and then try and get as close as much distance as possible. You see Ash. No, I'm guessing I don't have any wild shape because same
you
day.
had on the same day,
Yeah,
so you've
so
used one for the
Ash
day.
is just going to reach in and grab 2 daggers out and go, ah! and get as far as my dwarven legs get me, which is
Easy peasy. You
20 to 40 feet if I can dash, and I
Yeah,
can
you
dash
can-
in this game.
you can.
I've decided that I can.
So you can movement. So Pathfinder
Yep.
rules. You can use your movement, which is 20 feet. Did you say?
Yep, 20 feet.
You can use your movement. You can use your standard action to replace a movement as well. So you can get
Yep.
40 feet, and then
Yep.
you can still have a swift action if you have anything that's a swift action. You drew daggers. Is that a swift action? No, that's part of a movement action.
Let me bring up my sheet.
So I'm going to say that it sounds like it's going to take you your whole turn to get
Yeah.
to him then, because you're going to
Yeah.
have to get off a roof without breaking your ankles and get to him with your movement.
Hells yeah.
And then standard action to charge up behind him. Are you getting on the other side of him, flanking style?
Yeah, flanking style
yeah.
for sure.
And then meanwhile, your bear's stats. What speed has your bear got?
40 feet.
Yeah.
So
he,
I feel
without
like
a
Robert
dash, he's
gets up
still
there.
got his standard. Then he goes a little bit along the rooftop first to just like get round behind Agmai without jumping on him. Then he jumps off of the roof and he's going to get his standard action to make an attack.
All right. Do you want to roll this, or you want me to roll it?
You can do it, man.
All right. Robert's going to do a power bite attack.
A power bite.
Yeah, so I believe that just minuses a bit
And he's
off
coming in
the
from the
attack.
top, right? So
You
this
get
makes
the
him a
+2
power
damage.
top, is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's a 23 to hit,
23 should hit. Yes, 23 hits.
and that's going to be 12 damage.
12
Piercing.
points of damage. Let me just double check. Damage resistant. 5
Got DPS.
slash. What's your alignment of Robert?
Robert's alignment,
Yeah,
I would say chaotic neutral.
cool. And if it's 5 slash good or silver, it means he reduces that 11 points. Did you say? What was this? What
It was
the damage
12,
there?
sorry.
12.
12.
So 12 points, he reduces it to 7 because it's 5 unless it's from a good creature or a silver
Yeah,
weapon.
nice.
that right?
It's not a good creature. It's a good aligned weapon.
Oh, a good aligned weapon or a
nice.
silvered weapon.
Yeah.
And he's immune to that. He's resistant to that. And remind me what SR is.
SR spell resistance.
Spell,
so any
okay.
spell
Forget that
or
then.
spell-like ability that gets cast on him that has spell resistant vulnerability, they need to make a roll of a cast level check to overcome that, or the spell just fizzles.
Cool. Nobody casts any spells. I don't know how to deal with his spells.
Got it.
Just
Pull out my spell book.
People are only allowed to be martial casters, martial classes. All right. That's why I was so mean to Dale before. So Robert, the grizzly bear dives off of the roof, come down with a power bite. It does strike down into the shoulder, but it seems to resist some of that because of his infernal legacy.
You damned infernal creature, tell me what you know!
Excellent. That is everything Robert can do.
Yep.
Wonderful. That is Bryn's turn then. You got this, Bryn.
Okay. As my move action, I'm going to study my target.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
I am
Which
also
gives
going to
me a
study
plus-
the target.
Which gives me a +2 to attack and to the damage.
Nice. Okay.
Now, it also says something vaguely here about sneak attack. But it says after sneak attack, you can study as an immediate action. So I think I'm going to sneak attack since he hasn't seen me,
He hasn't.
and
He
then
hasn't.
study the target. So that being said, with my movement taken into account, I'm going to be close to the park that Agmai was
That
hiding
Agmai
in,
was
so
in.
that
Cool.
I can attack very easily from where I was. So
Excellent.
I think Bryn saw the roof situation and the park situation and was like, ah, fuck. And just like ducked into a small like bush or something. So I'm going to run up. This is very exciting because I know the rules. So I'm going to run up and I'm going
Exciting to know the rules.
I'm going to run up and slice down this creature's back with one of my saber tooth sabers. And then study the creature.
Cool. So if you have to move more than 5 feet, you have to use the move action, which means you can't do 2 attacks. Correct?
Yes, and I'm using my study target anyway, so I didn't want to move too much, which is why I placed myself
Excellent.
close to...
Cool. So you were sneaking. So that means for logistics reasons you have to be within 5 feet of where Agmai was. So Agmai is hiding behind a bush, which makes it even funnier that he was hiding like this. And then next to him, you were actually hiding very successfully in an actual bush. This monster comes barreling up to behind this bush. You sneak out behind, and now we've got this guy is surrounded on 4 sides. He's got a bear on one side, and you flanking the bear. Then we've got Agmai and Ash flanking from the other 2 sides. You sneak out with your blade. You take a 5-foot step, and leaving you with your still having your standard action and your movement to do 2 attacks. One of them is going to be a sneak attack, and then after the sneak attack, you can use an immediate action to do a study target. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
Swift action to do the study target.
Swift action. Sorry.
Yeah. My PDF cuts off just as that.
So the way you want to do it is
there's like 2 words that are missing on the study target bit at the end, but I get the basic concept. I'm going to do 2 attacks, and then I get my
Let's do it.
Ability.
Roll
I'd study target beforehand so that you can get your sneak attack damage on the attacks.
Okay. Cool.
But
good to know.
you-
I
but
thought
you
that
read
was
something-
correct.
You read
It
something
says
that said
after sneak attack, you can study as an
study
immediate action.
as an
Oh, okay.
immediate.
Okay, right. So you make the first attack, then study, then
Yeah.
you get it for the second.
Yeah, so because I'm getting the bonus from the sneak attack first, that I
Okay.
won't get the
I need to
next
read my
time.
sheet more.
And then the
is
next
the-
time I'll get the next time I'll get the study advantage because I've
Gotcha.
observed the creature. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll get it on the
Sorry.
next turn. Got it.
Sneak
We got
attack.
this. We got this.
Oh, I got a 19.
Dale's calling you out in the chat. AJ, I don't know how Pathfinder works. Winters, such a lie.
Look,
Oh, I thought she said I
I'm
don't know how
very
PDF
lucky.
works. For a second.
I'm very lucky that my... Now, the reason that this is because the entire combat last week I spent reading my sheet trying to understand it.
Yeah, you were like, you guys combat. I'm gonna sneak into this person's house.
I'm gonna sneak into this house and read the PDF for 2 hours. And then secondly, because my initiative was fourth in the round, I was able to then read this again.
Read it again
and
to
suddenly
refresh.
It's starting to make
You're
sense.
doing a good job.
Thank you. My sneak attack says plus 1d6. So is that the bonus I add to the sneak attack? Hit or the damage?
Damage.
Yeah, damage.
Okay,
That's
then
what
I
was gonna
rolled 19 plus 8
say. To hit.
to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. That is my
Now
first
you roll
one.
damage, and damage on your blade is how much?
1d8 plus 3. So
1d8 plus 3 plus a d6 from sneak attack. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
That's correct. So 10 plus 4, so 14 for the first hit.
14, and it is all piercing damage, slashing damage?
Slashing.
It's all slashing
That's what
damage.
the S means, right?
It's not a silvered weapon,
No.
and it's not a good aligned weapon. There's no like it's not a sentient
No,
good
it's
aligned.
just it's a sawtooth say. It's made of tooth. I'm gonna say.
Made of tooth. Cool. Silvered tooth. What? So
Really big-
what? How much damage was that? Sorry, it was
14 for the first
14 reduced to 9.
hit. And then I
infernal
got
boy.
a 21 on the second one.
21 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, and that's just the 1d8.
And because
so
you
that is
did that sneak
5.
attack on the first one, you then add
Yep.
the study target plus
Oh, yeah.
1 attack and damage to it.
Okay, cool. So it was a 23 to hit, and it's a plus 2 to the damage as well. So that is a...
Do you only get sneak
the
attack
damage,
once per
is it-
round in Pathfinder?
You get it as
No,
as
that's
long as
from
she's
the
flanking,
study.
You get it.
Oh shit! It's a lot of sneak attack.
You'd say it snuck up on you.
So with is it like in D&D where if the second attack doesn't have that plus to the dice roll, or is it always the damage being 1d8 plus 3?
Because your attack modifier goes
It
down.
would,
for
it would
the-
get lower, but AJ's got double slice, which allows her to add her full strength.
There you go. Boom.
Perfect.
You are proficient
Then
with
in
double
that case,
slicing.
I rolled a 7 plus the 2 from the study target, which is 9.
9
on top of the
points
14.
of slashing, reduced to 4 because of his resistance. All right. Slash.
And now,
Blood.
so I've done the
splitting out.
studied target. Does that give me? I've tried to Google this.
Okay,
What is
so it'll give you.
What else
so,
does it give me?
So a study target gives you +1 to your attack and damage. as well as +1 on bluff checks, knowledge checks, perception checks, sense motive, and survival against this creature. So basically, if it tries to run away, we have a better chance of moving around it. If we need to interrogate it, you've got a better chance to interrogate it.
Okay. Do I know its weaknesses?
No, that'd be a knowledge check, which you would get a bonus to do.
Which I'd get a bonus to if I need to do it later.
I'll say because this isn't just a random thing for you. You have seen these guys around. There is a chance that in your past you have studied them, knowing like if I ever need to kill one of these guys, I need to know how to kill it. So give me a knowledge check from at some point in the last few days to see if you know anything about this guy.
Okay, and that would be knowledge local.
Knowledge arcana. Knowledge planes?
Specifically, it's knowledge planes.
Knowledge planes.
Or you can flavor it knowledge religion, but given the nature of this location, knowledge local would also be perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay, knowledge. Well, because I'm a drow and we have a close relationship with creatures like this. If I remember correctly.
I think so.
Is it demons or devils? I think the lore is that we worship the whatever this one is.
Devils.
No. The drow worship demons specifically.
Different.
Took a punt.
Okay, never mind. That is an 18 plus 8.
On your knowledge check.
Local.
Okay, so you would know that they are immune to fire damage. They're immune to poison damage. They're resistant to acid damage and cold damage, and that regular weapons won't hurt them. Regular weapons won't hurt them as much. With a what was it? A 26. 26. I've got to remind myself that 26 isn't as high as it sounds. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent amount to learn from them, and also from first-hand experience as well, having struck this guy just now. They're pretty armored. Like they're naturally quite hardy.
This just causes like a deep longing within Bryn to just like slice this thing up even further. Yeah, I don't like don't like that I'm not causing as much damage as I want to. I yearn for blood.
All right, that is your whole turn then. You did a 5-foot step. You did an immediate action, standard action movement. I think you're all done.
Yes.
Leaving Scraw.
So what's the distance in relation to that thing and me right now?
Pretty much whatever you wanted it to be, because you had a little more
good
opportunity than the others. You're out in a street. Just give you some surroundings. This is a wealthy part of the district, and you're particularly on an industry street, not a residential street. So there's the basket weavers. There's a couple of the shops. There's the people who live and people who work in these shops also live in the shops. So there are onlookers and people who might come out into the street if noises happen and stuff. The people who dobbed you in for the bears fighting in the street in the first place. But there is like an open street with a little bit of a park nearby.
All right, so I want to be exactly 30 feet away.
You are exact. So you get out a measuring tape.
Sweet.
You walk over and you're like this.
All right. I flick the tape out. I'm like, all right.
Stop moving.
All right, 30 feet. Okay. I pull out my rifle, point it straight at the guy, and I will get my point blank shot bonus from this.
All right, and you are firing into melee, which normally imposes some kind of disadvantage, but you have some sharpshootery thing.
I have precise shot. I ignore penalties for firing into melee.
Fire into melee. There you go.
Oh, he'll be okay. And then I just flick like an extra like magnifying glass down on the scope, and it's just like doop 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 doop. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him.
All right, take a shot.
So with this, it says, oh god, where is it? It's saying that loading a hand crossbow or light crossbow is like a move action. So does that mean I can't move around, maneuver if I have to reload this after one shot?
I believe that is what it says, yes. You can,
okay,
you can use a move action to move, and then if you need another move action, you can use your standard action to do another move action.
Yeah, but I've got to use a standard action to shoot, so yes, I figure this is just going to plant me on the spot.
So you can move and shoot, or you can load and shoot, but you can't do both.
I'm gonna
you're already loaded right now at the start of the combat.
Oh yeah, I just don't want to have to load, every turn as my action. No, I'll take the shot and then I'll reload.
Mm-hmm.
But where is that? Where is that? I think that's a plus 11 to hit. So that's gonna be a 26.
26 hits.
And then, do I have to say any of this stuff? No. Can I pop some extra powder, some extra black powder into my shot? Wait, where is that? Oh no.
Some grit points or something.
I think it's a grit point thing. Dag, do you remember what that was? It was like I can make it more of a volatile shot. I can't remember what the bonus specifically was.
Klar.
I've got expanded chamber.
Grit. I remember reading on your sheet there was something about expending grit points down the bottom.
Yeah.
You
this is
can
one of
blast
those.
a lock, scoot an object, stop bleeding.
That's for your
You've got an
utility shot.
expanded chamber.
My offensive abilities class stuff here.
Because there was like you start off with grit points, and I also remember a little bit from Percy and Critical Role season 1 that like you start off with grit points equal to your wisdom, I want to say.
Yes.
And then you get them back if you crit, and you get them back if you kill.
It's very similar to 5th edition version. I'm just trying to find the experimental stuff because it's the subclass that I am.
Right, gotcha.
Okay, expanded chamber. It means I get a +1 circumstance to damage rolls. And I'm using 2 doses of black powder with each shot, and if I misfire, it causes a flash burn. Basically, it explodes in my face.
Wonderful.
But
and the misfire is like if you roll a 1 or a 2 on your
yes.
roll.
My misfire I think is easier to get as well if
Right.
I do that. But
because you've
I
packed
didn't
the bullet a little more.
pretty much. But I'll get +1 damage on that, and that's gonna be a D12. Oh, it's not great. It's a 4 +1 is 5. Plus the gun itself is a +1. So it's a plus. It's 4 + 2 is 6 + 2 is 8 damage.
8 damage, reduced to 3 because your gun is neither good nor silvered.
My gun is a +1 experimental, I think. I think it was magical. Experimental rifle +1.
Doesn't say magical, it just says damage reduction 5 unless it's good or silver. Is that right, Dag?
Oh. Okay.
That's right, Dag?
Yes.
Yes. So it doesn't matter that it's magical, it just matters whether or not it's silvered bullets or silvered or good aligned weapon.
Dang, should have bought the silver when they tried to upsell me.
So, yeah, it does strike across him. You see some of the outer skin sort of break, and you can see some blackish ichor start to bleed out of him. He definitely knows where you are. I'm assuming as well that your gun does not have any sort of silenced properties or anything.
Oh, not at all.
This is a very loud gun.
Scroll's a loud puppy.
And so, right outside of the meeting, where you were told, like, you know, let's get out of the city as secretly as you can, you walked out of the door and went, "What shall we do? Oh, here's a devil coming for us. Let's hide behind this leaf and then shoot him with a big loud gun." Bang! So you're going to be attracting a lot of attention, and if you manage to take this guy down, you're also going to have to set off running probably out of the streets. We'll see how that goes. Bang!
I stood my ground.
As you shoot this guy, you then have your movement action to reload. Is that what you're doing?
I'll reload that, yeah. And
is this where you have to choose? Is this where you have to choose whether you're putting more powder in it or something, or is that like a thing you can choose when you shoot?
I think I can do that when I'm doing my shot. So you just like pop it in the top.
Which seems silly, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you're taking a shot, like it should be when you loaded the shot into the. But whatever.
I think it's so we don't forget because I will.
All right, that is your whole turn then.
I think so, yeah.
Back to the devil. He's getting stabbed, he's getting sliced. He's still looking fine at the moment. He turns to his original quarry, Agmai, and he is going to take a big old strike with his glaive. I believe I'm reading this right, that if he takes 2 claw attacks, he can do 2 attacks. If he takes a glaive, he can only do 1, but it does more damage. So he's going to go for the big 1 damage glaive attack strike. And on you, Agmai, that is going to be a 22 to hit.
22 will definitely hit.
Why is it +11 / +6 melee?
/11.
It says +11 / +6. Oh, is that in case he does 2 attacks in a round or something?
Oh,
First
yeah,
one
yeah.
would
It
be
means
11,
that
the
he's
second
got
one would
base
be-
attack enough to be able to make 2 attacks in a full round.
So he can do 2 glaive attacks?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the first one will hit, and I'll do the damage on that first because something happens with a hit from this guy. Oh, that's not bad. That is 9 plus 6. That is 15 points of slashing damage plus an infernal wound. As his glaive strikes you, the damage a bearded devil deals with its glaive inflicts persistent wounds that cause 2 points of bleed damage. Bleed caused from the infernal wound is particularly difficult to staunch. You need a healing check to stop the bleeding damage and something blah blah blah. So as he strikes you with the glaive, he strikes you pretty hard. Where does he hit you that ends up bleeding?
The glaive digs deep, kind of like just above where the abs are, where just off to the right between a couple of ribs. Thankfully, the ribs, of course, in their spacing, stop the glaive from like puncturing any of the like vital organs, like the lungs or anything like that. But it's still quite a deep and nasty gash.
As he plunges his tool into your deep and nasty gash, he is going to withdraw the.
You broke yourself on that one.
Yeah.
I was like, that was too far for even me.
Yeah.
He pulls his weapon out of your gash, and he's going for the bear. With on the other side, he goes for Robert. That is going to be so he's only got a +6 on his second attack, which takes it to a 14 to hit.
14 to hit.
I think misses from memory. The bear's AC was 16 last time.
AC's high. Is a 17 actually.
17? Jesus Christ.
Chonka bear. Chonker. A little chonker bear.
He strikes once, he strikes twice, he misses on the second, and I believe that's all he can do. He's got spell-like abilities, but I imagine that's only if he hasn't made attack rolls. I think that's all he can do. Taking us to Agmai.
Yep.
All right. Agmai is still flanking with the bear.
Yep, flanking with everyone.
Agmai leans in and says something in Orcish. It is not polite for a polite society, but he says something nonetheless and gives myself a blessing of devastation. And I'm going to then do
a blessing of devastation is going to go well for this guy, isn't it? Whatever that does.
So what it's just basically 1 damage.
Oh.
And I'm gonna.
It's a bit overnamed, really.
Does that infernal wound do anything on the turn?
Yeah. When does bleed happening?
It happens usually at the start of the turn, so I will take 2 bleed damage at
the start of your turn.
Also,
your turn, you'll take
I
2
just
bleed.
realized that I also cause bleed damage.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I hit with a primary and an offhand, which I did, I cause 1. I deal 1 bleed, which I didn't understand until you started talking.
So he takes 1 extra point of bleed damage. His ichor comes out of the wounds that you slashed open in him, and then and that's an ongoing, persistent thing. Like unless he deals with it.
Yep, unless he heals or uses a heal check to staunch the wound.
Wonderful. He's just going to take that damage.
All right. Flurry of blows with a +2 bonus and sneak attack because I'm flanking. That is a natural 20.
This will hurt.
Boy.
And a 29 to hit.
We are 29 hits. So we are not using my homebrew rules of like brutal criticals because I'm using Pathfinder rules. So in Pathfinder rules, it's just an extra 1 dice from the damage.
Yes, but I have to confirm. No, it's
you have to confirm it. You have to confirm it first.
So that is 33 to confirm.
Yeah, confirms.
Okay. So the critical hits. $45 46 points of damage.
I'm gonna take your word for it. 46 points of damage.
Yep, I do 2d8 plus 2d8 plus 20 plus 2d6 sneak attack.
Why plus 20? Oh, because you're crazy strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like a 30 strength.
And that juiced up in the last round.
Juiced up. All right, so
Okay, I've missed some
46.
modifiers on mine.
Yeah. You're like, I shot the guy.
I shot the guy
using. I shot
and
the
he
guy
punched
using a
him with the
feature.
fist.
Yeah, I shot the guy using a feature called point blank shot, and extra gunpowder, and I did 8 points of damage. This guy punched him in the face and did 46 points of damage. All right, 41 points of damage actually, because your fists aren't good or silvered. So
I'm really sorry.
Take
Yes,
that.
is true. I'm gonna hit him again though.
Again!
Because I'm a monk.
Do
Well,
it.
not a monk. I'm a Sacred Fist War Priest, which means
you're-
I get another one of these.
Yep.
But your attack modifier goes down because it's your second attack
It does
of the
not,
round.
because the way Flurry of Blows works is I naturally take a -2 penalty to both my primary
Both of
and
them.
my secondary. However, because I'm flanking, it negates that -2.
Yes,
Alright.
but if you look at the subsection
making
3
this up. He's definitely
of
making
page
this up.
5 of book 10.
Did you get your lawyer to sign off on this before you made this attack? Because I don't think
and
you
that is an
did.
additional 20 points of damage.
An
from the
additional
second.
20 from a second punch.
What?
An additional 15, actually,
Yes.
which is enough to kill him. So that's, so that's fun. All right. Well, this is. Why did they use these guys as enforcers when this orcs can just take them down? What is it?
Agma is one of a kind.
True.
Yeah,
built
it's
differently.
the Sacred Hand War Priest or whatever bullshit title he
Sacred-
has.
wait.
That actually did it.
The
Yeah.
Sacred Fist
How
War
many books
Priest,
did you make this
Rage
character
Chemist,
out of?
Rage
Is this
Shaper.
like
Show you
this
my
like-
Is this
sacred
PHP
fist.
plus 1?
Is this PHP plus 1 or is this like a 10 book like crazy combo?
The super
It
crazy
is a
combo. Are you
crazy
kidding me?
combo.
Yeah.
This might be the last time I play Pathfinder.
Yeah.
This is the craziest
Yeah.
combo I've ever come with.
Yeah.
I've
did
made
8 damage.
I've made a barbarian with no levels of barbarian.
I have a dagger, and that's what I can use, and that's 1d4 plus, was that 2? Yeah, I did 1d4 plus
Look,
2
the guy knows how to
damage.
play a Pathfinder.
Is
This
there a
it.
modifier I was supposed to add to mine?
Doesn't matter, does it? Because
No,
he
it's not
over.
20.
So the fun thing is, you did 3 points of damage to him after his resistance, and he overkilled
my
him by
God.
way more than 3. So your damage did nothing, essentially, is what we're saying. Like
Contributed, and I feel
so
like
you-
an equal part
so
of
you
his
tried
team.
to
You're all-
contribute, but
Yeah,
if
you're-
you'd missed, it wouldn't have made a difference. Is what I'm saying. That's all.
I stood there. That's what I
Well,
did.
I'm still
I moved
bleeding,
and
by the
stood.
way. Just
Also, just for the fun of it, you
You
did
can stay
crit.
bleeding.
You did crit. So I do want just for the
Did
fun
crit,
of it to
yeah,
see
true.
what the crit
should do-
effect was.
Baron-
Punch
It
yourself for
means
20
instant
healing damage
death.
next.
I want you to flip your crit thing,
oh,
please.
oh, my flip card. Okay, sure. Let's see what happens here.
You become a god.
Dak is
I'm gonna go with 3. What's 3?
loading up with a splash of every
Oh,
soda at the fountain.
that's not fun, but it could be really funny actually. It's crushed toe. So I crush his foot. He takes dex damage, and his land speed is halved until he heals it.
Oh, his land
so
speed
what
was
I'm
already
imagining
0. He's dead.
Is as he turns around to kind of like stab
Go
at
for the bet.
Robert. Agma has done like the whole, that really crummy basketball thing where you step on someone's foot so they can't move.
Yeah.
So he's stepped on their foot. So as he's turned, he's kind of like looked back as like, what the hell are you doing? And then Agma's just gone, boom, and just sent this shockwave up through his jaw.
Hells yeah.
Perfect uppercut.
Yeah, you.
Has anyone seen Miss Congeniality, where she demonstrates self?
Oh yeah. Solar plexus, instep, nose, groin.
Yeah.
All right. As you strike him, because you specifically said you punched him in the jaw, and I did describe him as a beard devil, and he never got to use his beard ability because you murdered him in like one fucking shot.
Grabbed the beard and ripped it off.
Just for flavor's sake, the beard, as you're punching him, kind of lashes out at your hand, and I'll have you make a what's it called, a reflex saving throw against taking some beard damage.
It's a 9.
A 9. All right. Because
Out my
I
big.
wanted to use his abilities, you take. Thankfully, I rolled minimum 3 points of beard damage.
Is that plus 20 there?
Plus,
Are you sure it's not like plus 50?
yeah,
Yeah.
plus,
Like a
yeah, plus his
revenge
modifier, plus his
exactly.
circumstance bonus because
Circumstance
Yeah,
bonus
yeah.
of him.
the moon is rising in the right.
They
type-
did sign with
part
their
of the-
lawyer, so they get bonus, right?
Yeah, they get.
Yeah.
I mean, they're,
Right,
they're
sweet.
devils. They certainly would. As the beard strikes into you, you need to make a fortitude saving throw now.
No. Agma danger. Urgh. Oh no, maybe not. That is
I
a
imagine
Fortitude
Agma's got
should be
decent
good.
fortitude.
Yeah, I would say so.
27.
Yeah, that's enough. You do not contract devil chills,
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
which is
Why
good.
did you say contract? Like it's some sort of
Well, it is. It says.
sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah, I was
Well,
scared until
sexually
you used the term
transmitted is-
devil chills.
Yeah, I mean,
as
like
well.
we just had in the combat described his dirty
Yeah.
weapon into the nasty
Yeah,
gash.
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
the effect is your loins are just always cold. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got
Um,
chills and
It says here They must succeed in a DC 17 Fortitude save or contract Devil Chills. Devil Chills is a disease which is injury based. Has a save, blah blah blah. Has an onset of 1d4 days and frequency of 1 per day, and an effect of 1d4 strength damage. So he could have sapped away at his strength if he'd have contracted Devil Chills, but he didn't.
See his GP for more information.
Yeah, gotta see.
Now here's the thing. Are we out of combat?
We are, because you just annihilated this guy.
Okay, cool. Because I have something I've always wanted to do in Pathfinder, but I never actually have. Right.
Well then, now's your chance.
As a war priest, I have cleric spells, and I'm going to use my spell Infernal Healing, who has a material component of Devil's Blood.
Oh, shit.
And I heal. I gain their fast healing.
You grab the Devil's Blood and rub it into your gash, and you heal with his infernal blood.
Nice.
Tell me how that works. It sounds like a way to contract Devil Chills, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds like he's already got it now.
Well, I only need a drop, but yeah, I'll take it. I anoint the wounded creature with the Devil's Blood, giving it fast healing 1 for 1 minute. Ability cannot repair. This ability cannot repair damage caused by silver weapons, good aligned weapons, or spell effects with a good descriptor. I then detect as evil for the duration of the spell.
Ooh.
And it has no long-term effect on my alignment, but I'm evil anyway, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yep, it's just that. So I am going to, pending a minute, I will heal 10 hit points.
In the next minute you'll heal 10 hit points, but also in the next minute there will be people running from all over the city to get to you because there's been a big old bang happened.
I think it matters, Rob. We have an Ogma who can do.
Ogma.
We got an Ogma. They can kill.
So you just change the plan. Just change the plan and be like, we just took that guy down and like
wall.
that. We just just stay here.
Yeah.
We don't need to run. Let's just clean up
Ogma
Cheliax.
starts chewing on a tree.
We're sure he would, like, he's on our side, right? I've just got to clarify that.
Perhaps we should just
I don't know how to take him down if he's not.
For now, he is on our side, but we need to go immediately.
All right. I start flying in the air.
Perhaps we should just have him tear down the wall.
Well, you said we got to get out. Got to scat.
Let's just bust a hole through.
Well, get Og to do it.
You are our scout. You need to get us out of here. That is your job. So,
I have foreseen that my gun is attracting people. Scouting complete.
Oh my god.
You start to hear noises from like a few hundred feet away.
Time to run. Which way to the wall?
It's that way. I just point to whatever direction it probably is.
That it probably is.
I mean, I probably know because I
would know,
live in
you're all
the city.
from the city.
Yes, it's a big wall, right?
It is. Yes, you set off running through the streets. This is going to go into essentially a chase scene as the guards are trying to catch up to where you guys are and find you. You guys are trying to either evade them or escape them, or both. So if you want to do stealthy stuff, you can try that. If you want to just do speedy stuff, you can try that. But one way or another, you need to get away from the guards before they catch up to you.
I actually have an idea. Friend, no, go ahead for like, I don't know, get like 100 feet away from me. I got an idea. I'm gonna divert their attention.
Wonderful. All right. So the rest of you start off running, presumably.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm behind Ogmai.
I was gonna say I'd also like to take a moment to remind everyone that when I'm raging, which I still am, and I have no way to reduce that rage. My intelligence is 4.
Can I? So Agmai and I bonded before everyone else. That was we worked that out last session, right? So.
Yep.
Can I have? I don't have animal handling or any of the equivalent. But what do I have? Like intimidation or diplomacy. I want to like come here, Agmai. Come on. And, like
try an animal handling him along. All right.
Like from our bond, I'm gonna say we are friends, but we've learned that when he goes into stupid mind, I become like.
Give me an appropriate check. You can choose which check it's gonna be: persuasion, animal handling, whatever.
No, I think Bryn's strategy is always intimidation.
Intimidation.
You gotta be
Come on,
careful.
get.
Gotta be careful. If you fail that intimidation check, I'm climbing a skyscraper with you.
He can do it.
I kind of want to see that, so I'm rolling anyway. Okay, that is a 23.
23. Agmai, this is against you, so you get to decide what's the DC there. Is 23 enough that she can be like, come on?
So look, there are two forms of DCs. One is to just intimidate, and the other is an opposed intimidate. I do not want to intimidate, so it'll be based off my my very, 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 very botched. Actually, no, I'm actually pretty decent wisdom. Which would be an 18 would be the DC.
All right, I would say that succeeds then, and therefore, come on, you managed to manipulate him through intimidations. Get, go on, get. And
I full on school teacher him, and I'm like,
stop it, stop that right now, this way. And you start to move in the direction that you need to go.
Yeah, and like a petulant child.
What is that school teacher thing where it's like, and then they have to reply?
Yeah.
Or you know what? If you need Agmai to stop, you just go hands on heads.
Hands on heads.
Hands on head.
The Agmai was like as a petulant child being told off, just like kind of like puts his hands down and then like kicks what looks to be like kind of like just a shop front and like blows out a window or something.
Oh God.
As he's rushing that way, then you're following. We've got a bear and a dwarf. The dwarf's only got tiny legs. Does Robert ever let you ride him or?
I like to think so.
Yeah, then you can up on the back of Robert, and he.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, AJ. And away you go. Meanwhile, you leave behind Scraw. Scraw, what did you want to do? You were trying to divert.
I want to cause another distraction, but hopefully not get anyone hurt in the same motive. But I want to cause a little loud distraction in maybe like a street or two away, like making it look like we're heading the other direction.
Okay.
I want to take my necklace of fireball.
Oh shit!
Yep, and I want to throw that.
Nice. All right. You take to the skies. You start low flying over the rooftops so that people can't see you necessarily. Mm-hmm. As you set off in a particular direction, you get a couple of streets over, and then in a way that makes it seem like it would be feasible that you would have gotten to this point. You get your necklace off as you're flying, and what are you aiming for? Are you aiming for a building? Are you aiming for like a statue, a fountain?
Is there? I don't want like Scraw's a good dude, so I don't want like
collateral damage,
hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want to like destroy someone's house.
Okay.
So maybe a statue or a landmark, like something a symbol of shit, something shitty in the city.
Oh yeah, there's definitely symbols. There's a symbol of the I'm going to go from memory to test myself. Infernal Magistrix, and her name escapes me. She's basically the queen or the empress of this.
All right, where's the Umbridge statue?
Yeah, basically. You find the statue of Umbridge and launch a necklace at it. Make an attack roll for me.
All right. So, do I actually need to make an attack roll for this thing?
I'm asking just to see where on the statue you hit.
Oh, I want to blow that thing up. I want to just maybe in the largest portion of it, so that even if it doesn't completely destroy it, it'll crumble under itself.
Wonderful. Then I roll something, or you roll the damage of it, or something.
Oh no! If I'm rolling to hit, I got another natural one.
Oh boy!
I think you're just rolling for the damage,
okay.
Right?
If I'm rolling damage, then it's 5d8. Oh, that's not bad though. 25 fire damage.
Not bad. All right. So as you get it off of your neck, as you're flying as well, your wings are up and down. Your arm reaches up to grab the necklace. It kind of gets caught a little bit on your and then it falls from your hand, and you kind of and you're trying to grab it. It does that thing where it kind of loops around your finger and up in the air, and this is what all of the nat one looks like. And you're like, oh shit, and then you've already activated it, so it's about to explode, and you're like, and you just kind of get back.
I just bat it away. I think I'm very maneuverable with flying. So if I do just just drop the
You
thing,
just-
I can
you just
swiftly
bat-
get out of there.
Yeah, your wing on the downbeat hits the necklace, which sends it tumbling, and then just as you're kind of back and somersaulting backwards away from it, the necklace lands on the statue's head as she's standing there, sort of orating. It lands
The
around her
necklace.
neck,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
3, 2, 1, boom! Her head comes flying off, narrowly missing you in the sky as the head goes careening. Her outstretched arm goes shooting off like a projectile through someone's front window. There's sufficient commotion,
sorry.
let's say, and as you're flying back to the group, there's a commotion left in the streets over in that direction, and as you guys all set off towards the outer walls of the town, that's where we're going to go for a 5-minute break, just bio break and whatnot, and we'll be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. As we were leaving off, the definitely not Aarakocra, Plume, what were you called? The angel.
Oh, Scroll!
This guy, Scraw. There we go. We'll just go with the actual name. Scraw has just created a sufficient distraction for the guards, exploding a statue and then setting off, flying back towards the gang. You guys are setting off towards the city walls, and we're going into a chase. This is so that I can test out the chase mechanics of Pathfinder. I'm very excited. I've been craving some chase rules. So, how this works is, and Dag's going to tell me if I get this wrong, I'm going to start you off a certain number of squares essentially away from the goal, which is the walls of the city. Then I'm going to start off the bad guys, the things that are chasing you, a certain number of squares behind you. Normally they would be in this situation, because you were messing around quite a bit and you gave them quite a lot of chance to catch up to you, they would have only been 1 square behind. Because of the distraction of the explosion, they're going to be 2 squares behind. We're going to have Scraw on this square, on square 4, and we're going to have everybody else on square 3. Scraw has gained everybody an extra square from the guards at the cost of a square for himself. So, the other 3 of you are 3 squares from your goal. Scraw is 4 squares from his goal.
Oh,
The guards are 2 squares behind Scraw. And that is all we need to know. On this first round of the chase, Dag, I believe you said you had some thank you, AJ. You had some chase cards, correct? Some Pathfinder cards. You are wizarded.
there you go.
Can't hear
You're
us,
muted.
apparently.
Wizard, Dag,
Oh,
wizard.
sorry. I'm just talking to myself. It's fine. So, who are we revealing first?
We will go with you first.
All right. So, as our groups are making our way, winding through the various pathways and side streets, we find a very underutilized back alley, because we have our first encounter as we're racing through the alleys. We come across a series of potholes.
Potholes. All right. So square
Not
3.
plot holes.
Not
They come
plot
later.
holes. Potholes. All right. So potholes is the 3rd square from the end. And as you are rushing, I want you 3, the people in that square, which is Dag, Dread, and AJ. You guys and all of your respective characters are going to be encountering a bunch of uneven terrain as you're leaving the wealthy district of Triumph and heading towards the city walls. You're starting to get into the less well-maintained area. How do you get over these potholes, Dag? I think the card has some things on there.
Yeah, so it's suggesting we can either rush blindly forward, making a reflex save, or leap across these, making an acrobatics check.
All right.
However,
So
there
you've
is
got those
a,
2 options. You've also got any third option if you want to. If you look at your sheet and be like, oh, I've got this thing.
There is a slight hiccup. I also failed to mention that anyone who has less than 30-foot move speed gives a -2 penalty to those they travel with.
Luckily, I'm on a bear.
Circumstance. Yeah, he is on a
That's a
bear, which is a
40.
40-foot move speed.
Which
so
means that we get a +2.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, we don't. The bear gets a -2. That's
the bear
how
gets
that
a
works.
-2 because he's traveling. Yeah, he's traveling slow. It makes sense because he's slow because you're on his back.
Yeah, so I'm on the back.
All right. So, rolls, people in that square. You 3.
I think. Okay, I think Agmai would definitely be barreling forward. He is definitely not smart.
Make me a reflex save then.
Now, do you want me to reflex save with Robert, or do you want
Yeah,
me
we'll use.
to?
If you're going to barrel forward, we'll just use Robert's
Okay.
for both of you.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I believe the DC on the card is less than that.
Yes, the DC on the card is 15.
There you go then. That is your success. You move into square 2. Also in that square AJ, what are you doing? Are you choosing to dodge around them, barrel over them?
I was going to also roll a reflex and sort of like jump across them. My alternative was to climb, but then I realized that the bonus of both of those are the same for me. So I'm just gonna play leapfrog with the potholes.
All right.
Just
Leapfrog in the
jump across
potholes.
as nimbly as I
make
can.
that check.
Okay, that is also a dirty 20.
Nice. There you go. You are
13
also
plus
in.
7.
So Bryn is also in square 2, and Robert with his rider.
Come on, Robert. Leave. That's a natural 1, GM.
Uh-oh.
For a 7.
For a 7 total. 7 will not do it. So they don't take damage or anything, Dag. They just don't progress to the next square.
Correct. They do not progress.
So
because,
Robert is rushing forwards. A foot goes into one of the potholes. You hear this kind of crack as they sprain an ankle. They slow down for a second or two to try and deal with that.
Boy.
And it potentially allows. So this is Ash. Potentially allows Briefcase. We are catching up with you now. You are in the square behind that. So Dag, can you flip me another thing? What is in square 4?
In square 4 is a spiked wall.
Why is there a spike?
Straight up.
Who put that there?
Kind of like a ladder, it says.
What?
That's literally one of the
why is
options.
this
Why
here?
is this here?
Put like kind of like a ladder. Who put this here?
It makes it. I'm gonna make this work. Here's my storytelling chops coming in.
Okay.
As I've said, you are leaving the wealthy district of this infernal devil city called Triumph, and you are entering into another district, the one that's a bit shittier with the potholes and stuff. So this is a dividing wall, an interior wall of the city that is keeping out the ruffians from the wealthy district, and it is spiked on both sides. There you go. We got that.
Okay, what do I have to do to avoid this or deal with this?
Yeah, what are the options, Dag, for getting around this one?
So kind of a ladder. You can try to climb it with a climb DC of 25. Or why is this here? You can try to dodge it with a reflex DC of 15.
Can I do neither of those because I can literally fly?
I was gonna say you can fly, so you can use a fly. So I will say, like, as you're flying down, you're specifically trying to stay low so that people can't just see you, because the whole point of the distraction was to make them think they were going a different direction.
Yeah.
And if you just fly above everything,
I just want to like fly roughly over this.
Yeah, which is why I'm going to ask for a fly check. So
Okay,
you have
okay.
the fly skill. You're going to make a fly check for me.
I do, in fact. I think from memory I dumped most of my skill into this. So hopefully this is good.
I'm glad it
But
came
I've
up
also
for you.
rolled 3 natural ones this session, so
Did you
you know.
shoot and fly at the same time, or did you just put it in like shoot and fly?
I don't know, it looks like I get a plus 18 to this roll though, so we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
You still fail?
Did you say plus
Can you?
18 fly skill?
Is that what it's?
He's
Is
a
that what
bird.
it is? It's got a total where it like is
Holy
total
shit.
what I add to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 18.
Oh my god. All right.
Pathfinder.
So on
Bird.
that one, you get a nice
Why
Numbers.
are people surprised he can fly?
Big money, big money.
I couldn't fly very well to start with though, turns out, but I did just get a 29.
29. A 29 is sufficient to move forward a step, and
Easy.
and as you whoosh, fly down up and over the wall, you tick down the other side, and as you come down the other side, you see that there was like a bit of a broken section of the wall that was just like Agmai had just punched through it before you managed to catch up to him, because it made sense he had to have gotten through here at some point anyway, and he specifically said he was going to tear down the walls. So there's a big section of wall that you could have gone through probably. Agmai's pushed through it, and on the other side you can see a bear that's kind of nursing a sprained ankle in a pothole on the ground, and then a little bit ahead of that you can see your other friends still rushing for the walls. All right, we are going to put you in that square scrawl, and we are going to go back to the guards that are chasing. Can you flip me a thing to see what the guards are dealing with, please?
Probably the spiked wall.
Right.
Scandal are they having to put up with?
Well, unfortunately, in this particular area, a massive downpour had prevented people from doing basic maintenance on some of their drainage. Rusty drain pipes begin to cause problems as they break away from the sides of buildings.
Terribly
and
designed city.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost like they're putting too
given that
much...
this is like the rich
Walls, the
hoity-toity
drainage
The
area.
rich-
system
the rich
decides to
area.
erupt.
Yeah, in the rich wealthy district, the rusty drain pipes are falling down.
Years of
downhill
neglect.
anyway.
Years of neglect, indeed. And what do they have to do for this? What's the?
They have to use
Blind
acrobatics to try and avoid it, or attempt to climb over the obstacle.
Acrobatics to avoid. They get. Oh, not one. Oh god. So the guards are clank clank into the drain pipes, and they start shouting to each other about why are there drain pipes in it? Why was this is a wealthy district? Why are we dealing with? Good. They're shouting amongst themselves.
All those tax cuts came back to haunt us. We didn't repair our infrastructure.
If only we'd invested in infrastructure and not so much in devil statues of our empress in the middle of the
Cost
street.
3 million gold. We could have spent 20 on the pipes.
We just needed $20. All right, they do not progress. So we jump back to the forerunners, Agmai and Bryn. Can you flip me a card, please, to see what is in square 2 that you're dealing with?
All right.
I'm deeply
That
hoping
is
that
a
it's something.
festival.
It's the middle of the night after curfew. Why is there a festival in town?
Okay.
Rob, have you never heard of this
Role-playing
town's
chucks.
moon festival? It's
Role-playing
only
chucks.
nocturnal.
Well, okay, hold on. I can explain exactly why.
Okay.
There is a international devils festival known as the Parade of 1,000 Demons, where
Wait, they hate
devils?
demons.
Thousand
It's a
devils. I know what I meant.
festival. God.
Festival of 1,000 Devils, where the devils
Even
come
better.
out at night with like their flags and banners.
They're trying to raise
and,
money for new pipes.
There's like a tiny little imp with a tiny collection hat.
I think that's the way. I think that's what we're going to do. It's the raising money for pipes night festival.
They've got
Like the
collections.
night market.
It says Festival of 1,000 Devils, but it's been pasted over on the side with like new pipes thing. Dread, you
The only
get
people who can pay for it are the
you
devils.
get a circumstantial bonus onto your next
Yeah.
roll.
Love that. Thank you.
All right.
I'll take it.
Festival.
The Devil Festival, raising money for new pipes, is in the street. What do you have to do to avoid it?
Okay, so we have entertain the crowd, which is any type of performance role, DC 15, or just one drink, and then make a fort save with a DC of 10.
Nice.
Oh,
You just rushed past them. All right, which are you going to do, if any? You can choose something else if you can think of what to do. I adore
I would
this.
like to. I would like to. Has anyone seen El Dorado? I would like to perform the fake sword fight between
Nice.
with
Miguel
Agmai.
and Miguel and
I'm
Tulio.
gonna, yeah.
Tulio and Miguel.
Quit hitting me!
Powerful gods.
I fought your sister. That's a compliment. I'm gonna go onto the roof,
love
and
that
just
movie.
like with my acting skills, which is actually in my character sheet.
Nice.
I'm going to perform a monologue about defeating this ogre in the name of the devil festival. Devils.
Devils.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Roll me a check.
15 plus 4.
15 plus 4, 19. Is that enough on the card? I believe that should be enough.
Yep. The
Yep,
DC was 15.
That is one success. You move closer to the walls of the city. You can see the edges of the city looming as Bryn is close now. Agmai, what are you doing? Which one are you doing, if any?
Agma is also going to perform, but I would, however, like to petition, like to approach the bench here, for profession gladiator, because if I'm being pretending to be. Because this is literally my job.
Yeah,
like
you
I
are
was
a
a
performer.
slave to like
Yeah.
pretend to be the big ogre in these fights. And I got a 24.
All right. So I think I'm going to say that the two of you are working together. Then, as you clamber up, you see this festival. You clamber up onto the nearby roof, and realizing that you have to run across the rooftops to get through the crowded streets. As you're running, you see people looking up and hey, whoa, what's it? And you see like inquisitors and guards and stuff looking up to, and you're like, shit, our goose is cooked here. And you realize, oh no, we're meant to be here. And you get your swords out and you start doing your performance, and the gladiator ogre thing happens, and you're doing this sort of like swashbuckly jumping back and constantly on the move as you're fighting, which is actually traversing you along the rooftops. And it's like a promenade theatre.
backflips.
Yeah, a couple of backflips until before
To
you know
slay
it.
or not to slay?
You get to the end of it and you do like a little flip off the edge and land on the other side of the festival, and a couple of people start cheering, and the devils are starting to throw money at you, and then the other devils are like, stop giving the money, that's not the purpose of a fundraiser, you don't give money to performers. You guys get, I'm gonna roll you get 6 gold pieces each. thrown at your feet that you can pick up and take with you.
I try to pick it up.
big hands are too thick for him. All right, that is the festival. Both of you two are past. We are back to the potholes with Scraw and the bear.
Oh, I fly over there.
You fly over them. You get an automatic success unless you wish to help the bear.
Nice! Come on, Robert.
Well, what can I help you with?
No, it's fine. I got it.
What can I help you? Need anything? You go on.
I'm liking that currently the four things that we've pulled out of the obstacles have all been things you can avoid without a check because of flying.
Yeah.
You can just fly over the rusty drain pipes, fly over the wall, fly over the potholes, fly over the festival.
It's why I'm always the best choice when you hire a gunslinger. I can get around most obstacles by purely existing.
All right.
That's a 23 for Robert.
Okay, I will not give you a circumstance bonus. You can have that for the next one then.
I'm gonna save
23 is
that.
alright, you can save it. You move on to the festival as Robert kind of shakes
You
it
might
off.
need it for the festival.
Shakes it off, and the bear comes round the corner, round the pothole corner, and you can hear the music starting, the infernal devils and things, and then both of you see fire in your eyes of ash, and almost like anime style, we see the camera comes round to you, and then we see both of you. The camera pushes in separately on both of you, and you see that splits that diagonal split screen of both of you and the bear's eyes. As suddenly we see what you see, and you can see all of the devils, like hundreds of devils, just in the street, just like trying to do a bake sale and get money from each other for trying to get money from.
No, I
from
don't
each
want
other.
your blasted lemingtons. Would you like some deviled eggs?
Nice. Okay, so you will be onto the festival, as will Scraw. Scraw, you've come barreling down the road as well, round the corner and seen the festival. Then it is back to the bad guys, see if they can get over these rusty drain pipes. They do this time. All right, can I get a flip to see what they get into?
They walk into the spiked wall.
No, there's one more between them and the spiked wall.
Oh, is there?
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
I still got the spike water content with that sound like later.
And randomly mind the gap.
Oh, I can fly over that.
There's a train
Let's
station.
just double back. I want to flex on them.
Okay, so mind the gap. Basically, as they're kind of coming across, they, because it's like almost like a descending cityscape.
Mm-hmm.
So they've gone past and around and over this area, and now they're like on the rooftops of the lower district.
Yeah.
And there's like a little gap they have to
If you
mount across.
jump over the rooftops of the districts.
Acrobatics 15 or a knowledge local 20 to find a shortcut around.
Oh, okay. Knowledge local they will definitely have because they are guards. In fact, they'll have some bonuses for that. So when it comes back to them, they will. They know all of the little like secret passages and the illicit ways. Secret tunnels. They know all the
city.
illicit ways through this part of the city. All right, we are on to Bryn and Agmai up the front. We need a flip from you to see what this final obstacle is going to be right before the wall.
That is a corrupt patrol.
Oh, okay. This makes sense.
Ooh.
There is
Alright.
you round the corner after the festival, and you're home free. You're rushing towards the walls, and then you see the guards on the walls starting to look your way. What do you want to do to get past the guards?
Okay, now this is my bad. We can offer them a small bribe with an appraise of 10, or we can attempt to slip through their fingers with an escape artist of 15.
Bribe or escape artist, and you can offer something else if you have anything else. You could try and pay them handsomely if you've got 6 gold burning a hole in your pocket.
Well, actually, one of the common ways you can do this is for bribe. There are bribe rules where you get a plus circumstances on your check based on how much you bribe them. Usually, like depending on what their going rate is, you get a +2 bonus every time you hit their going rate.
Yeah, smart.
Screw it. I'll give them 6 gold.
All right, I will give you a. I'll give you a bonus to that. All right, roll me a bribe check.
7.
That's gonna be a failure. You run up to these guards and you're like, "Here's money. Let us through."
Money. Money, my money.
And the guy takes it, puts it in his pocket, and then says, I'm going to need more than that. And he holds out his hand. That is one failure from Agmai. Bryn, what are you doing to try and get past these corrupt guards?
So I don't have escape artist, which seems dumb.
It does.
I don't have that.
It also seems dumb that you have a 3 in stealth, but there we are.
Look, first time playing Pathfinder. I would like. Can I? Can I flirt with the guards?
You can absolutely flirt with the guards. Yes, you can. There is they're mostly humans in this city, so I'm going to say they're human guards. They are. I'm just going to roll real quick to see what array of genders we have here. How many guards do we have? I'm going to go with I think 3 guards, and they are 1, 2, and 3. We have 2 cis males and 1 cis female guard. You can probably flirt with at least, as long as you can flirt with at least 2 of the 3 of them successfully, you can get through.
All right, there's no flirt check, so I don't know why I suggested this.
Seduction check or
improving attitude with diplomacy.
Diplomacy check. There we
Can
go.
I do bluff?
Bluff to make them
Because
believe
I'm not
you're
actually
into them.
attracted to. Yeah.
Yeah, bluff. You can definitely make a bluff one.
Okay.
As one of the guys is holding his hand out to Agmai, like, come on, more than that. You walk up to the others and.
Do I have to roll 3 bluff checks for this?
No. Depending on
Just
the
one?
DC, it will be like up to a certain amount of the DC. You're gonna get one of them. Another window on that amount, it'll be 2 of them, and another one will be 3.
Okay. Okay, that is a 23.
23 is enough for all 3 of them. You managed to. How do you seduce them? Caress them? Caress their cheek?
I think.
Offer some illicit words of scandal in their ear?
I think that the one that has his hand out being like more, I just like slip my hand into his and I'm like.
He's like, you're gonna need more than that, and you just come over and like, well then.
I'm like, surely we can have another arrangement to pass by.
I like the way you think. I'm a little busy right now, but we're all 3 of us staying at the I can't think of a name. It doesn't sound like a bar. We're staying at the Greasy Spoon down the road. You can if you're going to be around. A little, mind you, he's going to let you out of the city,
yes.
on the hopes that you come back later
Yep.
once he's finished his shift. I mean, fuck it, you succeeded on the check, so for some reason he's not very smart about what he's agreeing to.
I need to let out my pet.
Oh, I see. Got to take him out of the city, and then you'll be right back, huh?
Yes,
He kisses you on the hand and says, "Right, you are then," and he lets you go. I'm going to say that you have succeeded because you over-succeeded. I said you needed to seduce 2 of them. You seduced all 3, so you're going to act as a success for Agmai as well. He does still keep your 6 gold. All right, we're going back to Scraw and the Bear. Scraw and the Bear, you are now in the festival. What do you do?
Festival. So what were the options out of the 2?
You can take a drink and a fortitude save, or you can do a performance check.
When you
can
say
offer someone
drink,
else's one.
when you say drink, what do you mean?
There is a whole variety of things on like samples of stalls and
Okay.
and like they're Koha donations. They're like gold coin donations because they're trying to raise money. So there's just like barrels and casks and wines, and there's a bunch of like infernal drinks as well that look like you probably shouldn't drink them because they're bubbling.
Okay.
And
Can I go
acidic
to? Can I go to like a red one, like a really sparkly looking red one?
and... Sure. There's a large bone-like devil that seems almost skeletal.
All
on
right.
it.
Would you like
What's this sparkly red one that you got there?
It's called the blood of eternal hell.
Oh, cool! I just got some of that from this other stand around here, and I want to cheers
Who
you
else
for it.
Who else is selling blood of eternal hell?
Old Bony Jim down the street.
Bony
there.
Jim!
Yeah,
Bastard!
old Bony Jim.
He said he wouldn't step on my toes this year.
Yeah, no, I figured I'd come tell you about it because he's freaking, he's still stepping on your toes again. Oh, Bony Jim stepping on them Tony George's toes.
He's got a name tag that says I'm Tony George.
Okay,
Bony Tony.
Thought I'd let you know, and then what I want to do is I want to actually pull out one of my healing potions that look as similar as possible to this thing.
Okay.
And I'll be like, anyway, cheers to that.
He cheers
And then I take a drink of my own healing potion.
through his own jaws and burns away at some of his bones on the way down, pockmarks them with acid.
All right, you have a good night now.
I'm going to need a bluff check.
Oh, yeah? Oh, can I do a sleight of hand? Because I want to try and make it look like I took it from his
I will
store.
allow.
All right, sweet. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm just checking which is better. Where's blood? Oh, no, definitely sleight of hand. Oh, it's only a 14.
A 14?
The plus 9, it's a 14.
14's enough. I'll allow it. I'll be generous. You managed to cheers your way past Bony Tony George.
I'm sorry.
and you make your way, sort of dance your way through the crowds, and people are asking you for money
For the drain pipes.
Oh yeah. Speak to Bony Tony. He said they got what I got for him.
Bony Tony. Bony, you're holding out on us. Would you want some drink? Come to me. Not that other Bony Jim.
As you have distracted them and made your way through the festival. All right, Dread, what are you doing on your bear?
So I'm going to direct Robert and Ash towards the most gathered amount of alcohol. I'm thinking barrels. I'm thinking maybe
big old
some
barrels
sort of
of them.
keg or something like that. We're gonna barrel through it as fast as we can, cause any destruction, and take that fortitude save as everything.
You see a huge, chained up devil with all sorts of chains hanging off of them and dragging, and some of them are like meat hooked into his flesh.
Yep.
And he's just kind of dragging a bunch of crates and barrels along.
All right, you ready,
Pallets.
Robert? That one right there. Run through. Go.
He sets off, boom, barreling through. This is going to be an athletics. Oh, there's not athletics in this game. This is going to be a
Probably a bull rush attempt, which is a
bull
combat
rush.
maneuver.
That's a thing. Yes, a combat maneuver. So you're going to
Combat
roll with
maneuver.
your combat maneuver ability,
Okay.
which is under the attack modifier of things.
Robert?
CMB
CMB.
B. Yep.
bonus.
Do you want me to roll it or Robert to roll it?
You roll it. You roll it.
Okay.
With Robert's stats, whichever's higher, yours or Robert's.
Okay, sick. I think it's the same. It's gonna be an 18.
18 total. 18 is sufficient. As you are approaching the barrels, you see that this big chain guy, he turns towards you because of the sound. But
And
then
just
he's
before we run into it,
he's
I'm gonna
immediately
yell out.
distracted for a second though, because as he's about to turn towards you, and then he hears Raktung, and he turns towards this bony devil, this real skinny bony devil who comes over, and he says, "Yeah, what is it, Bony Jim?" And he says, "I've heard that Bony Tony's been bad-mouthing me. What's going on there? And can I get some of my Hellfire wine? I wasn't gonna sell it this year because out of honor to him, but if he's gonna badmouth me, fuck him, fuck that guy." And just as he's about to pick out a barrel of this Hellfire wine, boosh! What do you do? You say just before you hit.
Drinks on! Drinks on him! Come get your drinks, it's all free!
Barrels go flying, smashing up the place. Commotion everywhere. You've also made it harder for the guards to actually get through the festival if they manage to make it there.
Yeah.
And you have made it to the patrol, the corrupt patrol, which you're going to have to bribe or seduce your way through. Meanwhile, the rooftops, knowledge local, they succeed easily and moved into the spike wall. Dag, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, because when they moved from the festival to the corrupted patrol, they were more than 3 cards away, or 3 spots away, I think that's actually, we lose them.
1, 2, 3. Excellent. There you go then. They jumped across the gap, but they're not sure what's going on. However, there is a big commotion from the festival that is less than 3 stops away, so they're going to be like, well, we lost them, but let's go handle the festival. They start moving towards the festival. I just want to know what you guys do with the patrol.
I'm gonna get Ash to look at the patrol and say, "Don't you look at my bear like that."
they've just allowed a pretty lady and her orc pet through out of the city, and they turn back. They close the doors behind just as this bear comes barreling along with a flying gunsmith as well. And you're gonna intimidate? Is this?
I think so.
What is it you were attempting with that?
Yeah, intimidate. I would say.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Through now.
Make an intimidate check.
Oh, intimidate check. Yep. Cool.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna warn that you would know that, despite the fact that you are riding a bear, the intimidate check's going to be a relatively high DC because they are guards that protect an infernal city that has devils walking around in it. So they're used to being intimidated in certain ways. So if you still want to do it, you can do it. It's just going to be a higher DC than some other options.
I got a -2.
You're going to -2 intimidate.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm gonna
not
look at
the
some of
best
the gold
option.
on the ground that I'm guessing was left by Agbai.
The ones that were thrown from the festival.
I didn't pick mine up.
Yeah.
So there's a few gold coins
I
on the
gave
ground.
mine to the. I picked up mine and then gave them to the gods.
So there are 6 gold pieces on the ground.
Remembering the weird and alien ways of civilization, Ash is going to go inside and just take out a dirty sack of coins.
Dirty sack of coins.
Yeah,
there you go.
filled with 30 gold pieces. Just throw it at them.
Throw it at them. Don't look at my bear like that. Throw a gold coin bag at them. All right. Before I see whether that succeeds, because you're with Scraw, are you doing anything of a similar nature, or are you just doing something else?
So we're going through a gate, you were saying?
Yeah, it's a gate in the wall, and it's a large wall, and there's guards up on the top of the wall.
Can I
there's like 3 people in
try
the
and
gate.
like disable the locks at all in there so it'll be like difficult to get through? Or is there like large bars that like what's the way I can mechanically get a hindrance in here?
Are you trying to hinder the people following you so that they can't get out of the city and follow you across the plains? Because you're in the city, you're trying to get out of this gate, so you don't necessarily
kind of
want
like
to
do something. Yeah, do something on when we're on the other side of it.
When you're past it, you can try and fuck up the gate. You can definitely try that, but for now, you're going to need to deal with this patrol first. The patrol is the one that's preventing you from getting out. There's 3 corrupt guards that are willing to take a bribe or something to let you out of the gate, but there's currently a curfew, and you're not allowed out of the city after dark.
Okay.
We've got your friend on a bear has just yeeted a bag of gold at them. If you wanted to jump in on that, and then I would adjust the DC for how much the bribe is worth to them.
Yeah, let's do. I actually don't know how much gold I have. But I will say let's do that. I've got 40. I've only got 40 gold.
You can throw all 40 at them if you want. But
I'll throw all 40.
All right, so you just grab your pouch as well, throw it at them. That gives 70 gold total to these guys. A lot more than 6. So that is going to adjust the DC or give you a circumstance bonus. Of the 2 of you, we don't have advantage in this game, do we? Dread, we'll go with you because you still have your made me laugh bonus from earlier.
Hell yeah.
So you can make a bribe check. There's an actual skill for bribing, isn't there?
Bluff? Diplomacy?
Appraise.
Appraise. An appraise check.
Appraise. All right. Well, I'm going to do the appraise check, but I have a +4 to appraise checks when it includes gems or precious metals.
Does it include gems or precious metals?
I think it's gold pieces, right?
Gold
So
pieces.
I would say
count
so.
as precious. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. And then my what do I add for the made you laugh bonus?
10.
10. Okay. Yeah. Damn. Okay. So that's a +14. I needed it. It's a 17.
You got a 3.
Got a 3. I rolled a 3.
All right. 17, and then plus enough because of the fact that you gave them 70 gold, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Takes it to a decent amount. You managed to convince 2 of them to step aside, and that's all you really need from the 3 of them that are on duty. They're like, okay, we'll get more later. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of people. Once they're drunk from the festival, there'll be plenty of people wanting to leave the city. We'll get more bribes later on. And you managed to bribe your way out of the city.
Hell yeah. I look down to Robert and I go,
Yip, yip.
And he takes off to the skies. And this is when we learn he's flying.
he's a flying bear.
As the lot of you have made it out of the city, Matt, you turn round. take aim with your utility shot at the gate to try and fuck up the gubbins of the what do they call them? The hinges, so that the gates are harder for them to open if they do chase after you.
I also want to stick some of my stubborn nails in there as well.
Oh, nice. Why do you have stubborn nails?
Yeah, I got magic nails,
The
baby.
fuck is stubborn nails?
Yeah, hold on. I think when I stick them in stuff, basically it like makes it really hard to open things.
Okay, perfect.
By magic, like I can just stick them in something and they'll magically go in, but then they're really hard to pull out.
Awesome, I love it. So you're gonna take it. You can just do that if you want, but if you want to double up, you can shoot the hinges with your utility shot, and then you can stubborn
Put the
nail.
nails in the hinge.
You put the nails in the gun. Yeah. You turn your gun into a nail gun, and then bang, you're shooting some stubborn nails with them. Perfect.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Do it.
Amazing.
Make an attack roll.
Oh my god, I'm rolling terribly today.
Something about
Okay,
the guest stars, isn't it?
It's gonna be an 18. It's not terrible.
It's a stationary object, and yes, it's made of big old hardy wood, but 18, I'm going to say, is enough to hit its armor class. One of the stubborn nails goes in. Over the next couple of rounds, you reload with them, and bang, bang, bang. Roll me, just quick fire, roll me like 4 more checks. I just want to see if it misfires.
Nope. Oh, these rolls are better. Yeah, lowest roll was 8.
All right, no misfire.
Like,
bang, bang, bang,
unmodified.
bang. 5 shots go off, and 5 stubborn nails have nailed the one of these 2 of these gates shut. And so you are out of there, and you guys have managed to completely evade the rest of the chase and escape from Egorian City.
We have also definitely told them where we are.
There was a lot of explosive noises from outside of the city walls. Yes.
The job said escort, not how.
And as you set off into the night, you have a long ways ahead of you over the plains towards Nisha, a small hamlet town. It is into the night now. You're into approaching midnight as you fly and run and sprint away. You're probably going to start getting pretty exhausted unless you set up a camp. What is your intentions?
Set up camp.
All right. You got things for that? You got your...
Is there a
I do not.
Is there a rocky wall somewhere?
You can find a rocky wall. So as you can see on the map between Egorian and Nisha, you can see that there is a long expanse of plains. Essentially, it's not forest, it's not hills, it's just kind of flatlands and grasslands. So there's not a lot of cliff-facey walls. The best you can find is probably like a bit of a rocky mound, a bit of a rocky hill at some point if you're looking out for one.
Yep, I'll do that.
All right, make me a survival check.
Oh, okay, yep. I can do that. Guess I frickin' can. I got a 21.
All right, 21 is decent, and it takes you about an hour or 2 of walking before you find a place that is a rocky mound of sufficient qualities to whatever the hell you're trying to do with it.
Yo,
It feels so good to be in nature again.
I as Ogmai as a rage shaper, ignore 10 points of hardness on anything I strike, meaning that everything up until the hardness of steel and iron is the exact same hardness as tissue paper.
Oh my gosh! So rock and stone to you is tissue paper.
Yep.
That's
so I
amazing.
literally just scrape out a
Good lord!
a literal cave out of this rock.
Holy shit, that's crazy. No wonder you smashed through the spike wall before.
Yeah, I was gonna. When I said I could break the walls, I wasn't lying.
Just scrape away at them as if they're even weaker than sandstone. All right, so you're as soon as your fingers make connection with the stone, they just pass into it and in they go until eventually you guys have got a cave to sleep in. For that reason, it's going to be a relatively easy night for you. Cheliax is as a country is a hellish infernal place overall. So there are demons and devils that do patrol around and like wild monsters and things that are pretty infernal as well. So it's not a necessarily safe place to be, but with your digging your cave out of the ground, I'm going to avoid any sort of random encounters overnight because of that. what are you guys doing overnight? Do you start a campfire? Do you just lie down on the floor? Have you got bedrolls? You got a tent?
I do what I usually do,
Blankets.
and I use my dear friend Robert as a pillow, and sometimes a blanket. Come here, Robert.
Who's
Time for cuddles.
rolls up and you snuggle into him, almost like your fireman's lifting, but like lying down. So you just snuggle into his legs and into his belly.
All right, good night.
Immediately, the fire in the eyes goes out. What about the rest of you?
I don't have any like bedrolls or anything, and I just checked whether drow sleep in Pathfinder. Apparently they do. So I'm gonna wrap myself in my cloak of resistance, like a cocoon,
Nice little burrito.
and just like a little, just very creepy, and just in the corner.
What does your cloak resist?
I don't know.
Everything.
Is it everything? Resistance to
It's all saves. +1 to all saves.
Oh wow, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah.
if it got a little chilly overnight, it would help you just a little bit.
I feel like I'm also still standing. Like I'm.
Oh
Against.
right, yeah. You just wrap yourself up real tight and then just lean against a wall like a mummy. Scraw, what do you do?
I want to find like a nice little perch, like a nice little spot, like in a tree or on a nice rock.
Yeah,
Drag
there's
some
a
sticks
couple,
together,
yeah,
sit
there's a
on
couple
that.
places. Yeah, you sit on a perch and just kind of like shuffle your feathers up, sit down, just tuck your beak into yourself. And Agmai?
Raise 1 foot.
Creating the cave, Agmai really did it for the others. He's gonna sit slash stay outside. He's gonna be sitting by the fire and kind of watching the stars for like the first time in quite a long time since being part of the slave pits and kind of always traveling in those caged caravans and the like. So he doesn't want to be inside. He wants to be under the stars. And
I see.
as he's doing so, he's got in the palm of his hand a small bag filled with a small collection of baby orc teeth.
Baby orc teeth. That's sad, I think. Are these ones that your daughter dropped as she was growing?
Yes.
This is her
Yep.
baby teeth.
Yep. It's the last memento I have. It's the only thing they left me with because they were like, it's scary if the orc plays with teeth and
Yep.
like get in people's heads and
Yep.
psych them out.
Yeah, so they allowed you to keep a hold of those because they thought it worked for their purpose. It's a cold and long night for you, I think. The stars are bright because there's not a lot of cloud cover, which means that the wind chill is relatively chilly overnight. Eventually, you do drift off though, and there's a couple of times in the night that you do wake just out of paranoia because you're used to being in fighting pits and having, if you're asleep, then someone you're about to go up against the next day might have paid somebody to give you a bit of a shiv or something just to make you weaker for the upcoming fight or anything like that. So you're used to being on edge throughout the night. And it does save you once or twice because a couple of times there is like this, you do wake and there's this bestial, almost looks kind of the body of a lion, but it's got this crocodilian kind of face and it's just sort of snuffling and getting closer and you manage to fuck off and it scappers. There's a couple of times just like that where there's just infernal looking creatures and beasts that just hunting really. But you make it through the night without too much issue. The rest of you all have a long rest. You get your wild shit back finally, Ash. And in the morning, you can set off again. What is it you want to do? As you're starting to pack away your camp, if you can even call it that.
You tear down the cave.
Yeah, you got to put it back in again. Fill it back up.
Yeah, just compact it.
No, that was a good sleep.
Okay, where are we heading?
I know, buddy. It's much better out here than in that infernal city. Not intended.
Scraw, you would know that you don't really work for the Bellflower network. You kind of work with them as a freelancer. You've helped them out a few times because of reasons. But they refer to people like you as tillers, people who will help others get out of the city and get to the safe houses. You know that there is a town called Nisha that you're heading towards, and the path pretty much leads there. And then once you get to Nisha, it's a tiny little hamlet. But past there's Halmiris, and you can either stay on the road to Halmiris, but it's a little bit more risky because Halmiris has it has a larger population, and therefore it's probably got people who are going to tattle. In this world of Cheldriax, you've got a lot of people who are willing to get themselves a foot up in society by like tattling on their neighbours and stuff. It's kind of Orwellian in that respect. And so the more people means the more chance of actually finding anything that's needed, like utilities and stuff that you need, places to eat and sleep and rest and stuff is more abundant. You're less likely to encounter wild creatures, but you're more likely to encounter people who are a problem. Alternatively, once you get to Nisha, you can head off of the road and head across country to Longacre, which is a smaller sort of frontier town on the edges of the Whisperwood. It has more accommodating people because they live in the wilderness and they kind of know that, like, hey, you need to look out for each other or you're going to die to the monsters out here. And it's a little bit more dangerous because of the wild wilderness that you're going across. But those are your two main options. You can either stay on the road and go to Halmiris, or you can go across country to Longacre. Either way, you've got to find Nisha first.
How hard do you want your journey to be? Because I know some places that are going to be more hospitable to us. It's just a bit further away. Or we could take the risky roads and, get those tattletales possibly on our backs. And I don't know how you are about your escorts and your quests and whatever you need, but anyone who's trying to get a leg up by tattling on those that are trying to do good in the world to make sure they're in a better standing doesn't work well with me. So I want to ask you about this.
We are in agreement then.
Because they may not hurt us, but I want to talk to them if they think that they can get away with that. Okay.
What do you think, Robert? Yes.
It doesn't seem to know or have an opinion on whatever the hell was being said.
I'm saying we can go. I'm good with going either way. I feel like if there's a situation in which you want less conflict, dealing with forest critters is easier than dealing with people that'll get go missing and then needing to be looked for by other members of authority that we do not respect.
I can attest to that. I prefer forest beasties than humans and people.
Ash, you'll do better in the wild, yes?
Very much so, yeah.
What about you, Agmai? Where do you thrive?
Agmai breaks things in city and breaks things in forest. Agmai not care.
All right. On the fence. You got match points then, Bryn.
so we've got an Agmai's either one. We've got Ash is favouring the forest. Is that right?
Aye.
And we got the Scroll favouring the town.
I'm favouring forest because it's got less resistance.
Yeah, favouring forest as well. So we got two for forest, one for on the fence. What is Bryn thinking?
No, I usually do better in places that I can hide and manipulate others, but in this case I do agree that the forest is the best path for us.
Well, you can still hide in the forest. It's just there's less people to manipulate. You can manipulate one of us. Just be nice about it.
Who says I haven't not already?
Yeah, see, you're already doing it. So forest it is.
Forest it is. All right, so you're walking and talking as you're having this discussion. Throughout the morning, you don't meet resistance. You do wonder if anybody's set off from Egorian to look for you guys, but you feel with the you feel that with the festival going so poorly, with everything being exploded and them losing all of their beer and them not raising a lot of money for the rusty drain pipes, they've probably got other fish to fry. So you are unaccosted as you travel through the day. In terms of travel rules, I believe there was something in terms of like wilderness survival stuff that I had put somewhere in my. I currently have 9 pages of notes. Where the hell would it be?
Right, what are we
Dag,
looking
do
at?
you remember like forest,
boy.
like just like roles for making sure that you go in the right direction over wilderness and stuff, for wilderness
okay,
survival things.
Okay, presuming you're not talking about discovery
Control,
stuff.
find wilderness.
We have exploration territories, mountains and forested.
I think it's just like it's just a straight survival check, isn't it? To just
Yeah,
make sure
it's
that you're
straight
all going
survival
there.
checks.
But as a group, is it like just one person, whoever's leading, or is it?
Whoever's in the lead.
All right, we'll make that
and-
scrawl because you are the one kind of who's done this before. So make a survival check for me, scroll.
Survival. Oh, not bad. 18 before modifier. One
Oh,
sec.
nice. Yeah, you're gonna be fine, unless you've got a severe negative.
No, it's +4, so it's 22.
Sweet. You are good then. It's relatively easy to find Nisha. It's not like pathed the whole way there, but it's sort of like a desire line, meaning like there's been trundled carts to and from Nisha before, and so over time, over the grasses and the flatlands, there's kind of been this natural wearing away, but nothing has been created as a dirt path towards Nisha. It's only really the path between Nisha and Halmiris that's an actual road. So it takes you most of the day to get to Nisha, and you're getting there just about at nightfall. There's like an hour left of the light. It's a small hamlet. It's probably, as you're approaching it, you can see all the way past Nisha onto the other side of it as well. It's a relatively small place. There's only about 24 buildings or so here. Probably a population of about double digits. What do you want to do as you're approaching? You can go into Nisha and try and stay here for any topping up of rations and things. Being that you weren't adventurers, you were escapees essentially. You probably don't have any rations on your person, and you've spent all day out in the wilderness, probably getting pretty hungry. You can either stay out in the wilderness, try and find something out here in the plains to eat, or you can go into Nisha and try and find a pub or a tavern or something or a hospitable home.
I think Bryn like lowers her sun parasol.
Yeah, because you've been out all day. It's been a horrible
all
day for you.
in direct sunlight, blinded
the whole time.
Just relying on sounds of the others walking or flying around me to guide the direction I'm going. So Bryn is exhausted and hungry and just doesn't want to be blind anymore.
This is a quick question here. Does anyone not have dark vision?
I think I might not.
'Cause I was gonna say, otherwise we could have just been traveling at night.
You should have just been traveling at night.
Oh no, I do have dark vision.
Yeah, we
You
could have been
should have been
traveling
traveling at night. You realise that like an hour before this point, like, as you like somebody complains about the sun, and then you're like, yeah, I wish we should have just travelled in the night. I can see fine in the night, and you're like, yeah, I can see fine in the night as well. Oh yeah, I can see fine in the night. I'm actually better in the night. And then you all look at each other like, fuck.
I feel like as well, Bryn did not mention the entire journey that she was struggling until one person was like, "Oh, I hate the sun," and Bryn's like, "Shut up!"
Just like this with a parasol over the sunglasses on, like
Sunglasses,
just fucking
parasol.
shut up. So what's your intention?
I think I would
going
want to
into
go
Nisha?
into the town personally, but what does everyone else want to do?
I do not like this any civilization, but if the pack is going in there, then I don't mind a small one like that one.
Last night, Agmai find demons in woods surrounding.
I did not anticipate people being this adverse to being in a settlement. I'm good with it.
I hate it.
Agmai's suggesting that we go to the settlement. He said that there are demons out here.
Mm-hmm.
Crocodile lion.
Ash is saying that Ash will go in there.
All right. So Ash doesn't want to, but is reluctantly accepting because everybody else does. You head into the town. You don't get any looks from anyone because it's approaching nightfall, so people are either finishing up their business in the place of whatever they're doing, or they're like in the pub already. You can see and hear that there is a pub in town that's like on the main street. There's only really one street through this town. That's probably where you're going to find any form of food or hospitality.
I'm gonna point to the nearest NPC and go,
You! Where do we get food? I'm hungry.
You point to the nearest NPC, and as I say, nobody was out on the street. So that means the nearest NPC was in somebody's house. So you walk up, up to somebody's window. You point through their open shutters into their like shop front. That doubles as their. I'm hungry. Where's the nearest? And there's this human boy. He's probably like 17 or so, and he's like working on some shoes. And he looks up and sees this terrifying looking dwarf. I can get you something, I suppose, but the pub. You want to go to the pub?
You made food.
Okay, Dad.
I put my hand on Ash. I'm like, maybe the pub is the best choice.
Oh, all right.
yeah, get down.
You get down off of his windowsill and just walk out of his garden. And just as you're sort of walking down, you're like 10 meters past his house when he comes, and the door opens, and like this older man comes to the door with like kind of shaky hands and a loaf of bread. His son is behind him, like.
Agmai walks past, as we're heading towards the pub, and just with one hand picks up all the bread and just in one mouthful just
closes the door, and you hear, oh shit, the Oaks are back.
Have you been here before, Squawk?
And I've been around. It's not like I wouldn't call this home. I don't really have one of those, but like, it's fine. I brought you here because this place is supposed to be more welcoming than any of the other towns we would have gone to.
All right.
So, don't assume the worst of people, because they probably reciprocate that.
I always assume the worst of people.
Okay, then don't start talking to people unless someone's already talked to them, because they can find a vibe then.
Got it.
Yeah.
What is a vibe?
Like intuition. Okay, like when you look at someone, you judge their character based on what they say and do. Like they would call you silent and like brooding.
They called me that?
Yes.
Oh.
Does that? Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that. Yeah, no, I stick by my words then.
Yeah, the bear's basically just picking up on whatever Ash's emotion is. So when he was like, "Wait, they call me that," and the bear was like, "Who's calling your names?" And then you're like, "Meh," and the bear's like, "Meh."
Well, that could have gone badly for a second there. Anyway, so town's gonna be okay as long as we're okay to them.
All right, we don't say anything to townsfolk.
Exactly.
Right immediately after saying that, you kick open the saloon doors of this pub, and ding 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 suddenly stops playing the piano, and the card game stops. Everybody in this tiny little like 50-person town like turns to see these complete strangers walking into the pub, and there's a stops behind the bar, puts the glass down. You see a human man, relatively large, stocky guy. He's only got one eye. He goes, strangers.
Yeah.
What can I do for you, travelers?
Just food for now, sir.
Food it is. Back about your business, rubberneckers. The rest of them start playing the cards again, and the piano starts playing up in the corner.
I like that. See, you treat people with respect. They treat you in kind.
Your bear. He house trained.
Yes.
Then he's welcome in here. I don't want no trouble, though. Sally, get some food on.
We don't intend no
meat,
trouble.
Please.
Meat.
Sorry, is the chef called Smelly?
Sally, but yes, Smelly Sally.
Hey, Smelly Sally.
Smelly Sally.
Smelly Sally.
I love
Smelly
Smelly Sally's eggs.
Famous
like
NPC
make the
of this
best
year.
damn eggs in the whole mountain.
Smelly Sally does make some very good eggs. We cut to ahead as you're sitting at a table, and this woman, this large human woman, comes over, and she's got like these, and I mean large in terms of like she's above 6 foot tall. She's built like a brick shithouse. She's kind of what's the one from Enchanted? Encanto. What's What's her name?
Oh, yeah, Lisa.
Louisa. She's like a Louisa type, and she brings over these like several plates of stuff.
Oh my word!
She puts them down on the edge of the table, and oh boy, you can tell why she gets the name. She has got some strong BO coming from her. But the food is also deliciously aromatic, which is covering up some of it. She's got this like plate of eggs in the center that you can share, like boiled eggs. And she's got like this stew dish that's just like a huge pot of pulled pork, sort of fleshing off the bone kind of meat. She's got this like selection of breads in another basket that she puts down. And you start to tuck into all this food as she leaves. And this, well, I'll have each of you actually make a perception check to see if you notice something.
Oh, 17.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Which makes it
20.
Perception. Lots. An 18.
An 18?
25.
And a 25. All right, you all actually notice. As you're tucking in, smashing this food after a very long day's travel, you notice that there is this this skinnier kind of human individual. Looks like he's probably in his late 50s or so. Holds himself quite upright and proper, and he seems to have been sitting on his own. He's this taller, slender, kind of high cheekbone, long sort of hooked nose, and a widow's peak to his relatively short hair. And he's just been sitting on his own reading a book, but he keeps glancing across to you guys and almost checking you out as to like your equipment and the things that you're wearing and such. He's definitely paying you guys close attention, and you can tell after a few minutes of eating and as you're getting towards the end of your meal, you can tell that he's not paying any attention to his book at all.
I lean over to Ash. I think he's interested in you.
Hey, what are you looking at?
As soon as you start calling, the bear gets up and it's like, who are attacking? And immediately the music stops again, and people start to scooch chairs back as if like a fight's about to break out, and they're like ready for it. And the bartender, One-Eyed Pete, he's like, "Hey, no trouble. I don't want no trouble. I said that before." And the fella, the skinny fella, he puts his book down and puts his hands up, and he says, I meant no ill intent with my staring. I'm sorry." And the One-Eyed Pete looks over him and says, he says, "Johnny, what's all this about?" And he goes, "I'm sorry, I got an aura from them as they entered. I couldn't help but be interested. One of them's touched by the infernal in a ways that we don't tend to like here." And he's directing that at you, Ash.
What do you know?
I sit down. I start to dwarf walk over. I wipe the grease from my face.
Without hesitating, Agmai grabs his food that he hasn't eaten.
Immediately starts eating.
Agmai hasn't looked up. I'm too hungry.
You walk over to this older gentleman, Johnny, and he says, "You're carrying something on your person."
Maybe.
"They call me the librarian around here.
Oh.
I have a way with books.
Oh.
There's something I can feel you have on you.
So
something
me and
I've
Robert have been looking for you.
Looking for a while.
If you know what it is, perhaps you should name it."
I held my hand over it.
Yeah. You're carrying the Tome of Infernal Secrets, aren't you?"
Aye, I am.
Take it out.
Then I think we
slam it
should-
on a nearby table.
Then I think we should talk. He, as soon as you go to slam it on the table, he pulls his other books away from the table, like as if he doesn't want the book that you're slamming down to touch his stuff. He starts to put things into like he opens his robe up, and there's like a little little holster almost, and he puts some books inside of that, and then he takes out a little sack off of the chair and starts to put some of the other books next to him into his sack. He slings it over his shoulder and he says, I have a place just down the ways. You and your friends are welcome to swing by when you're finished here. And then he skirts by, and he's like giving a big sort of wide berth to the book that you've slammed down onto the table. And then he scoots out of the front door, and he says, "Put it on my tab," to the bartender, and he leaves. And the door swings back again, and there's a bunch of like rubbernecking until Pete goes, "Quit your rubbernecking!" And suddenly the music starts up again. People start going back to card games.
Is the song actually rubbernecking?
Yeah, that's called rubbernecking.
Yeah.
More meat.
Go sit down.
Oh, ale too.
You leave the book on the table that you slammed down?
No, I don't definitely not. Grab that.
So
yeah, so sorry.
Grab that. You stick that back in your stuff. You go back to eat some more meat. And as Smelly Sally comes to bring you some more meat, that's where we're going to leave off with you going to meet Johnny, the librarian, next time. Unfortunately, we're out of time, guys, so we're going to leave it there, and we're going to pick up here next time. As we get sort of an epilogue moment as the credits roll, and then we get like an after credits scene. Scraw, I want you to work with me to tell me what do you think prevents Scraw from helping these guys out next week in the next episode? Was something in this town, give me something that Scraw is wanting or doing, or what is Scraw after that could be distracting for him here in town?
Yeah. No, something's been on Scraw's mind a little bit recently, and I want to go over to like one of the houses because I've been here. I've visited some people. Yeah. I want to go over and knock on one of the doors. And
the door, after a moment or two, it's getting late in the day, but a moment or two later, the door opens.
Hey, I know you said you want it done like 3-4 days ago, but they've been delaying on all their plans on their end, so. They're here now. Mate? Hey, I'm just saying that you hired an extra leg, and here it is. They're in the town now. Do what you want. They got the book on them.
All right.
I'm saying really ashamed about this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they got the book on them.
Right. I guess better late than never then.
Yeah.
Come on in.
No, I'm not coming in.
You know what's good for you. You don't fucking avoid me again, Scraw.
Yeah.
You know
you're never gonna see me again after this. So.
You better hope not.
Yeah, fuck off,
too, buddy. Don't talk to me like that.
And then I just leave.
You see him just like staring daggers at the back as you walk away. Poof, he slams the door shut, and that's the last thing we saw.
It's like I just like reef the cartridge out. And it just like, it has like one of their names on it. I'm like, fucking asshole.
Nice. Love it. I love it. Exciting stuff. So you're going to have to tune in next week, everybody. The last week of this little campaign in Pathfinder. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody in the chat. Thank you for the mods for being here to be awesome people and moderating the chat, keeping it a safe place for us all. Let's go down the line and let people know where they can find you. If they've liked what they've seen here today and want to see more of your work, we'll boomerang it back from the other end. Matt, we'll start with you.
Oh, hello. I'm Matt. I'm a professional Dungeon Master, and I also produce over at Split the Party. You can find me at dungeonmasterforhire.com.au, YouTube on just / Split the Party on YouTube, and in the chat you'll see me typing Split the Party TV. Give us a follow. We do painting streams. We're going to do some more D&D stuff soon. I think we're in the midst of planning our holiday video at the moment, which is just 4 levels of cooked. Please watch that. And it'll be out by about Christmas. So thank you for also Rob. Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
Absolute pleasure, man. It was a real pleasure to meet you over the PAX weekend, and I feel like we hit it off really well. Became fast friends immediately, and I was absolutely happy to extend the invite to play with you, and I hope you enjoyed your first Pathfinder 1E game.
I did, yeah. It's been good.
Wonderful. Dread, where can people find you?
Can I just say, Matt,
No.
you absolute traitor. How dare you?
Hey, I didn't want to betray you. I'm sorry. I liked you by the end of it.
I see you. Hi, I'm Dredd from Dredd GM. I am a storyteller, voice actor, and GM with Dreadlocks. If you want to see what I can do, you should head on to my channel tonight. I'm running a game of Stalking Thunder. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Have other things that are popping up through the week and whatnot. I absolutely adore everyone sitting at this table, and also Dale, who was here last week. But
not you, Zach.
Not you, Zach. You have to wait for your love. But I appreciate everyone so gosh darn much. I'm very excited for next week. I'm very excited to sit at this table, and I'm very thankful for everyone that's here. Yeah,
I'm glad to have you here.
Official.
Michael.
Hello. Yes. No. Oh my God. Matt, I love your character. I love your
Thank
face.
you.
It was so much fun. I loved everything about it. Like, we need to sneak out of here. Did someone say kaplow?
We weren't doing well.
Yes, no,
gracious.
quiet was never an option,
balls
and
of
I
fire.
love it. It was awesome getting to play with you, because I think this is actually the first time we've actually played across the
I think
table
so,
together.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was truly a pleasure, and I cannot wait to do this again, countless times. But me, I'm Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. I do Dead Aussie Gamer things over on my channel, Dead Aussie Gamer. You can just Google it. Honestly, like, I'm everywhere. But if you want to see me regularly, twitch.tv/DeadAussieGamer, you can see where I'm doing some cool stuff. I'm also part of the team with Quincy's Tavern and Careful Cantrip and the Mercs of Mischief. And I do have a kind of quasi-secret announcement. I say it's secret because I'm doing it publicly, but I mean, like, I haven't locked the... Anyway, on the 19th of December, Dragon Kitchen is returning for a Christmas special with a one-on-one Christmas-themed battle that is going to be happening over on the Dead Aussie Gamer channel too. Watch the space, see what happens, and I can't announce who's involved yet, but it's going to be an absolute doozy. It's going to be amazing to have learnt so many cool things from the last game that we ran with Rob and AJ and Dredd being a part of it as well. So if you haven't checked that out,
stolen. We should have won.
Look,
Not
you guys
salty.
watch the VOD and
Yeah.
you guys
about
make the
it.
decision.
Yeah.
Still salty.
Maybe if your food wasn't salty, you would have won.
Yeah.
Or on fire.
On fire.
That was your fault.
We're not getting into it. It's going to kick off a whole argument.
Yep.
AJ, who are you? Where can people find you?
Hello, I am AJ Winters. I am the Dungeon Master from Winter's Tales. We do a homebrew game on Tuesday nights, AWST 8 p.m. And it's set in this studio, which is pretty freaking cool, in a completely homebrew world where I took away all the memories of my players and was like, here's an empty blank character sheet, work it out. So if you're keen on that, you can check us out on YouTube or on Twitch at Winter's Tales.
Thank you very much. And I've been Robert Hartley GM, in case you didn't know who I am. Welcome to my channel. Drop me a follow on whichever platform you're watching this on. I do D&D things lots of times throughout the week on all the different platforms, so check me out on all the places. Thank you to all of my players, thank you to all my chat, thank you to all my mods. You guys have been incredible. Let's end the stream there. Oh hey, look at that, it's the end of the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, see if you can get me to that next arbitrary milestone of 10,000 subscribers. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you.